after delivering a State of the Village address on April 12. It is construction season in the city of Chicago and actually statewide. The city says it plans to pave 275 miles of streets this year. AM 560's Dave Stewart looks at what's getting the new pavement.
The city has outlined the first 200 miles of streets getting a new coat of asphalt. It includes about 75 miles of arterial streets and about 30 miles of residential streets and alleys. Transportation Commissioner Rebecca Scheinfeld says the city is coordinating with utilities to keep disruption to a minimum.
We've added human resources as well as technology resources to make sure that all those projects are coordinated and done efficiently and in sequence so that we're minimizing the number of times we have to come in and disrupt a given community.
The city will get input from aldermen to determine the location of the balance of streets to be resurfaced. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
An Illinois appeals court has ruled the winner of a suburban Chicago mayoral election is not eligible to hold that position because of a felony conviction. Roger Agpawa was blocked last summer by a Cook County judge from being sworn in as Markham's mayor in spite of garnering 41% of the vote in the April 2017 election. Will County officials are purchasing more renewable energy. The Daily Southtown reporting that the Will County Board has voted to approve a 3-year contract for $1.5 million with Constellation Energy for electricity. Half, they say, will come from renewable resources. The state requirement is that only 12.5% of power be somehow green. Some healthcare workers from the state could be in line for a big raise. Illinois Senate yesterday voting to nearly double the pay for workers who help in the state's community care program. The plan would increase the hourly rate for those workers from $10.98 an hour to $19.98 an hour on July 1st. They would then see yearly $1 raises until their pay tops out at just under $25 an hour in 2021. Many in Springfield say Illinois can't afford that massive of a pay hike. Chicago sports, Kyle Schwarber, 2 solo bombs. Indians over the Cubs, 10-3. Kyle Schwarber's 2 solo bombs helped the Cubs sink the Indians, 10-3, in the first of 2 at Progressive Field. Tyler Chatwood earns the victory. The Northsiders have won 4-5. Mariners blanked the White Sox 1-0 at Guaranteed Rate Field. Chris Volstad was the tough luck loser, giving up just 3 hits and 1 run over 4 1/3 innings of work. NBA last night, both the 76ers and Warriors move on to the next round of the NBA playoffs. The news, a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 5:07, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The best conversations happen with a cigar in one hand and a fine drink in the other. Join Larry Elder live in Chicago for Cigar Night, presented by Precision Payroll of America on Thursday, May 17th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Larry will be joined by AM 560's Dan Proft for an evening of cigar smoking and good conversation. Tickets start at $29 and include a cigar. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/cigar. Sponsored by Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert, and by the Elmhurst Cigar House.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-471-9807. That's 800-471-9807. 800-471-9807. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
5:08. It's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. I imagine mop-up still going on. Jim Telemonte in the loop after the fire overnight.
It is. Good morning, Mike. Streets have reopened downtown. There were closures, of course, stretches of Wabash, State, and Madison. And there is still plenty of emergency activity in the area, at least responders in the area, mainly if doing cleanup at this hour. But roads are open in the loop at this time after that multi-alarm blaze had things blocked off. McHenry, there's a closure of Ringwood Road, Martin Road, and McCullum Lake Road. That's for a crash investigation. On Bishop Ford Freeway, we see delays from Cottage Grove to the merge. Overnight road work should be clearing now out of the right lane. Looking at about a 5-minute delay. The other expressways and tollways are good for now. Traffic, service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers and stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Book now at LQ.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, breezy and cool with clouds and sun, high 54. Tonight, clear and chilly, low 36. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high 65. And at night, partly cloudy, low 41. Some sun for Friday, high around 60. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 46 at O'Hare, 42 along the lakefront. A gusty north wind. Your next news at 5:30. With Dan and Amy in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer starts next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
Build business with Chamber 630, one of the largest business organizations in DuPage County. Marketing your business and connecting clients is their priority. Visit chamber630.com or call 630-968-4050 to join today.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Bum, 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 bum. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico. We'll hear from them throughout the morning. Good morning, Sean. How are you?
Oh, day 3. Let's see how the old man does.
I can't. Right. I have enough gas for like 2 days, so I'm on fumes right now. But I heard Mike Scott reporting that the mayor of Romeoville was arrested. He was arrested.
They all should be arrested. Every one of these mayors.
Is this the guy who lost to Steve McMichael? I mean, imagine how ignominious it is to have lost to this guy, Steve. But if that's the case, but it was right after he had delivered the State of the Village address. Now, I'll tell you, I'd get arrested too if I had to deliver the State of the Village address for Romeoville. I mean, what is it? We poured some asphalt, which is what Chicago's doing right now.
You know, one of these things about Chicago, or Illinois in general, are the layers and layers of bureaucracy.
So
government.
many township government. I have a friend who's like the attorney for the township, and a township out north. I mean, there's so much.
I've been
sclerotic.
I've been lucky in the neighborhoods I've lived. The mayors, for the most part, are really good guys.
Yeah.
But you know, they're part of a bigger bureaucracy where these village managers, to me, are the real scoundrels. These guys are making nearly $200,000 a year for doing nothing.
The statistic I saw recently is that there's something like 63,000 people in the state of
Dan
Illinois.
Proft's publication broke it.
Right, exactly. That's where I get all this stuff. The North Cook News.
Well, I'll tell you what.
The Prairie State Wire or whatever. There's 63,000 people in the state of Illinois who get $100,000 a year or more from the government to work. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, maybe if
their pensions are killing us. You can't even pour any asphalt anymore because you can't afford it. You're paying somebody's pension.
Maybe if that rag, the Sun-Times, would have printed this kind of story, 30 years ago when it was starting to really run away, maybe we wouldn't be in this predicament.
They're in the tank. And now the
Tribune's going to be union.
The Tribune's going to be union. And the Sun-Times is trying to get people to pay for online content, $7.49 a month. That isn't going to happen.
Not when you got guys like Dan Proft, who are our own little version of Randolph Hearst, when they're building, really, they're not only building an online presence, which is what people want. Kids today.
But he gets pilloried all the time by the establishment because they say he's partisan.
Well, but he's openly partisan.
They like the shadows.
Well, he knows. Yes, this is what I'm saying. I'm going to attack you because you're spending too much money, and the money isn't going back to the public, to the taxpayer. Yes, I'm open about that. That's what he does. Whereas they purport to be objective, and they're not in the least.
And you got guys like the establishment. I met him years ago. That Pat Brady. You know him and
I like
Dan.
Pat. He's a friend of mine. I have to recuse myself from this discussion.
I met him at lunch.
Yeah.
And I
he used to substitute when Dan would be
oh,
off.
I know.
I used to be on
caught
with him all
that
the time.
vacuum cleaner salesman act he's got.
No,
I caught it.
I like Pat Brady's
He's
good.
a fraud. He's not good.
I don't. We should have Pat Brady on the show.
Get him on. Call
well,
him.
actually, we should have. You know that Dan
He's
and
a lobbyist.
Dan,
you know that?
Dan. Yes, I know. Dan and Pat Brady are going to be debating each other at the City Club on May 22nd. But they're going to be debating about the future of the Republican Party, which doesn't exist in the state of Illinois.
It's a punchline because of guys like Pat Brady. So not only do I know about it, I got the table
I'd like
in
to
the
let
front
Pat Brady
row.
defend himself.
I would too.
Yeah.
I've got the table in the front row.
Oh, you're going to be there
front
heckling.
row. Absolutely.
You bought out round one.
Because I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
A saboteur.
But this is such inside baseball stuff.
No, it isn't. Because a saboteur.
Well, this is an inside baseball station.
That's right. The people that listen to this station, believe me, they want Dumb and Dumber. They know where to go. This is the station where people know their stuff.
They
and
do.
a saboteur to Republican beliefs is why we're here. The sellouts, the frauds. This is why we're here.
Is this a soundbite from Pat Brady that you just threw up here, guys? Okay. Here we go.
You talk about a bigger story. There's a group in Illinois called the Illinois Policy Institute, Liberty Principles PAC. It's Dan Proft, John Tillman. These guys put on a big rush for Jeannie Ives to go after Jim Durkin. And it's a Republican. It's time for Republican donors and lawmakers and everybody in the state that wants a Republican to win to start ignoring these people. Because when he ran for governor, Dan Proft, in 2010, he got 7%. Put Jeannie Ives and the rest of these candidates up. Most of them lost. This is not good for the Republican Party. We need to get back to the middle, quit being on the fringes, and these people that have just been really bad for the Republican Party the last 4 years, Dan Proft, John Tillman, this whole crew, they need to go away.
This was on election night because I was watching Channel 9's coverage because they were the only one covering the election. Carol Marine, nobody watched her on Channel 5 because they didn't come on until like 10 o'clock and just for a few minutes. Channel 9 had, and I can't wait till Sinclair takes over and then they force they have alt-right stuff. But here's the thing. The problem with what Pat says is that, and I'm not just saying this because I'm genuflecting to Dan, who, this is his show after all, but it was worth it to have this primary because Jeannie Ives came so close to beating Rauner. So it was worth it to get donors to pony up some money because she actually made a legitimate race. Had it just been some, fruitless exercise, some frivolous thing, just to drain some donor money, and she had finished like 25 points behind Rauner, I would say, yeah, Dan is just causing a mess here, but it was legit, and she almost won.
Rauner won because he owns lobbyists like Chiclets, like this Pat Brady.
Is there a guy named Chiclets?
What Pat Brady isn't telling you is that 3 years ago he was so up Dan Proft's pocket that all he wanted was Dan Proft's help, because what Dan Proft brings to guys like Pat Brady are principles, actual conservative fundamentals.
Pat has principles, too.
No, he doesn't.
Look, I sat with lunch, I had dinner with him after I played golf with him last year, and he's saying to me, so have you softened on gay marriage? And I said, no.
If he had principles.
That's his principle.
If he had principles, he wouldn't be backing Rauner. He doesn't have principles. He's a lobbyist.
No, Pat has.
He's selling Illinois power. That's all he does.
I don't believe in ad hominem arguments.
Well,
I believe in taking the argument.
I pose to you reality of Illinois.
No, I think Pat Brady has principles. I disagree with his principles.
What are his principles?
Look, the litmus test in this election was HB 40. It was Rauner.
How about the bailout of CPS?
It was look, all that stuff is gravy. The whole thing was over abortion funding. That was what drove the Ives candidacy. It was over abortion funding. If he doesn't do that, if Rauner doesn't do that, there's no primary challenge.
So if Rauner doesn't do that, you're okay with the bailout of all the Chicago
I'm not okay
corruption?
with that stuff. I'm not okay with that stuff. But, a lot of that can be explained away because you have to deal with Madigan. It's true.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
who
can't
paved the way
perform miracles.
for Madigan? Who paved the way but Lee Daniels? Lee Daniels is why Madigan is who he is.
Actually, if you believe the Rauner ads, Jeannie Ives is Madigan's greatest supporter.
If you believe the Rauner ads, you're either in on the scam or you're too stupid to see it.
Look, I'm the one who believes that Rauner clouded his kid into Peyton Prep. I still believe that.
I saw him 3.5 years ago. I told you what he was on these airwaves. He's not just 7 foot of stupid, because he's not stupid. He's smart enough to know the scam, and he's neck deep on it.
I don't like the fact that Rauner and Rahm are basically just buddy-buddy. Ron got the vigorish in a deal between Rauner and Bill Daly.
Why doesn't Pat Brady talk about Nancy Kimmey? One single another lobbyist who can't do a sit-up in Rauner's office, controlling $17 billion. Yet not one of these frauds want to mention her name. You know why? Because they're in on the video game scam. They got all the pot store lobbyists lined up. It's all a scam.
Look, I understand the major things, the fact that we're majorly in debt, that we got all these big problems. Those are the things that Rauner could address if we could get some Republicans here. But unfortunately, we are a very bluish state, and politics, as I always say, is the art of the possible.
He's the biggest
Aristotle
donor.
got it from me. And we would be on Rauner's side. We voted for Rauner before.
I didn't.
Well,
he's the biggest donor.
You know what? You're a libertarian freakazoid, and
I'm not a libertarian. I'm not a libertarian. I'm aware.
You're a purist.
Oh, I'm a purist. You're right. There's wrong and there's right.
Look.
And never the two should commingle. Because no matter how slow you pour the oil in the glass of water, you ruin it.
Dan Proft voted for Donald Trump, okay?
I know.
I guarantee you that.
And I argued with him every day.
Well, and so did I. So he's not a purist, and neither am I.
All right. Label me. I like it.
I wasn't expecting.
And I'm a tiger in the sack.
This is too much energy.
Go ahead, finish the license
This
plate.
is too much energy for the beginning.
See what happens when
right
I
out
get
of the
Starbucks,
box.
not Dunkin' Donuts?
Right out of this is too much. We're like fighting like cats and dogs.
I like it
at the beginning.
Right now, all the real men are rolling over saying, "Hey, you hear this guy? I like it."
Let's take a check of the traffic and the weather now.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
See, this all boils down to, Bruce, it's cold, and I don't like cold. I start out very bitter. Breezy and cooler with times of clouds and sun. It's going to get 54 today. And we're so beat up by bad weather, this is going to feel good. Tonight, clear and chilly, low 36. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high 65. That's not too bad. Low tomorrow night, 41. Jim Telemonte, it's still dark outside. You know there's guys still stumbling out of Mannheim Road taverns. Where's it bad?
Well, good morning, Sean, and good morning, Bruce. I'm happy to report downtown Chicago streets have reopened after a multi-alarm fire Mike Scott told us about earlier. This affecting the area around 6 South Wabash. But both State and Madison have reopened. There are still crews in that area, mainly dealing with cleanup right now. McHenry Ringwood Road is closed. Martin to McCullum Lake, that's for crash investigation. On Bishop Ford Freeway, heavy Cottage Grove to the merge. Overnight work is cleared, but actually the delay has grown. The delays now start around 111th, 23 minutes, 8094 to the Rhine. I-57 is fine. The Rhine just a little congested approaching downtown. Kennedy, reversibles are open inbound. Expressways and tollways other than Bishop Ford look pretty good. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, we know replacing your roof is a big deal and a big decision. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson, the boys from Crumweedy. If your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
We would love to do your roof. Why choose Crumweedy to do your roof or roof repairs?
It's all about installation. Our guys are pros. When we install your roof, you'll get the Crumweedy promise of installation that's up to manufacturer specifications. So your warranty is intact. You'll be happy.
Cost. We give you a good, better, best option. You choose. No high pressure.
We're here. We're a third-generation family business that was built on the same conservative values as you.
We do business the right way. We have a special offer that includes free gutters with a new roof. Ask about it. When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
It's not easy being a mom, but my Chrysler Pacifica makes soccer practice a little more fun. I can binge all my shows with the available Uconnect Theater, open the Stow and Go seating to grab my hidden romance novel, or just jam out to the radio.
Hey, Mom, what was that song?
Huh? What song? I didn't hear a song.
Chrysler Pacifica. It's loaded with attitude. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. Ryan, I know serving those who serve our country is really important to you. You're always looking for ways to help our troops. Tell our listeners about your new program, Hero Loan for Military Families.
This is one that we're really proud of. And we've done VA loans since the beginning of time. And the problem is when you're waiting on the VA, and I'm not trash talking them or anything along those lines, but you are just what I said, you're waiting. And I think the average turn time to get a VA loan closed with most lenders is 60 to 90 days. And we thought that was ridiculous. So 2 years ago, I started the application with the VA, and I just received the highest delegation that they can bestow on a lender, meaning I can now process, underwrite, close, and fund all VA loans in-house. What does that mean for the veterans and the service members and their families? I close VA loans in 14 days, and I even pay for the appraisal. If you're looking for a VA loan, apply online today at hero.loan. That's hero.loan, the only way to VA. The Home Loan Expert LLC.
In business, you need smart storage solutions. For over 50 years, Bradford Systems has been the company Chicago turns to, specializing in commercial storage, filing systems, document management solutions, casework, and locker systems. Whether it's working with you to incorporate better storage elements into a historic building, creating a completely new workspace for your business, or even digitizing paper documents, Bradford Systems is there every step of the process. Their experienced digital solutions team will support your enterprise content management and business process outsourcing initiatives. Bradford Systems guarantees you'll have the exact storage solution you need, within budget and completed on time. Learn more at bradfordsystems.com or call 800-580-9151. That's 800-580-9151. Bradford Systems is a proud supporter of AM 560 and Food for the Poor. Let Bradford Systems show you and your business smart storage solutions. Call now for a free consultation. 800-580-9151. A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
If you're looking to purchase a firearm, here's a great offer. In April, Schranks will give you 2 free boxes of range ammo with a firearm purchase. For over half a century, generations of customers shop Schranks Smoke and Gun for the family atmosphere and the largest selection of new, used, and consignment firearms in Lake County, including pistols, rifles, shotguns, hard-to-find calibers, collectibles, and older functioning hunting rifles. There's on-site gunsmith services from simple cleaning to complete rebuilds. For your first firearm or adding to your collection, visit Schranks Smoke and Gun. And cigar lovers, you'll find your favorites in Schranks humidors, along with a broad selection of pipes and tobacco. Visit smoke_gun.org or call 847-662-4034. And check Facebook and Instagram for all the current specials, including the 2 boxes of range ammo with a firearm purchase. Drive north and save on taxes at Schranks Smoke and Gun in Waukegan, your family-owned gun store since 1964. That's 847-662-4034.
AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah, come on, Sean, let's go.
Sean
We're
doesn't sing.
taking care of business every day. Yeah. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Janet Amy.
Anytime you wonder why he's got the same outfit on.
And I
listen
don't
to
even
that.
have to blow a point H2O in order to do that. I think Dan does.
Yeah.
To sing on the
A lot
beach.
of stumble bumps right now going, I like this guy.
So, Ronnie Jackson, I just like saying the name Jackson. He's supposed to head up the VA, and he's the president's doctor, but apparently he's
Likes
running
the
into
sauce,
problems. Well, he supposedly drinks too much.
Sure.
He was dispensing drugs so freely that they called him the Candy Man. Okay. Can I workshop this little parody that I have for you? Who can take an opioid, dispense it out to you? It's my little Sammy Davis impersonation.
Is it over?
No, almost.
Right.
I only do one quick stanza.
Oh,
I don't even have an interest in my own parodies.
More like Costanza. Go ahead.
Our admirable Rear Admiral's nominations through. The Jackson Man is going to get canned. All right, so it's just workshopped it a little bit.
Whew.
But I don't go for the, multi-stanza Costanza parodies. It bores me.
One of my many jobs in college was a bartender.
Yeah.
And you know who
you
my
throw
favorite,
people like me out of the bar?
Oh,
yeah.
you wouldn't last a minute. One of my favorite kind of drunks, though, were lawyers and doctors. Those are the best kind of drunks.
Why?
Because they're aware of how moronic they are, and they want to tip you to shut you up. So I always loved a good lawyer or a good doctor as a drunk. Those were the big tips.
That's it. Yeah,
and strippers.
So, in your humble opinion, based on your expertise as a bartender, do you think that we should allow Ronnie Jackson, drunken...
all of a sudden, we don't like drunks in politics?
Right.
I posed to
Where's
you the
Tip
Kennedys.
O'Neill?
How about the Kennedys?
Yeah.
He was drunk since the 50s. Yeah. All of a sudden, he's the lion of the Senate. I say let the drunks run everything.
Right.
They'll have the same hours as the ones who aren't drunk.
Such a minor vice. As a matter of fact, I'm more worried about the guys who aren't drunk, like Richard Nixon.
Plus, no matter how tough you are, when you're drunk, you can't defend yourself. You're always a sucker for your hook.
Let's go to the newsroom right now. And Mike Scott.
President Trump, South Korean President Moon will meet next month before the president sits down with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Moon's office reporting this morning that South Korea's National Security Advisor and National Security Advisor John Bolton agreed during an hour-long meeting in Washington yesterday to that meeting. President Trump says the Iran nuclear accord is a bad deal, should have never been negotiated. At a White House news conference yesterday, Trump suggested he may pull out of that agreement next month. Last night at his first state dinner, the president raised a glass to French President Emmanuel Macron.
Respect for life, love for our neighbors, pride in our traditions, defense of our heritage, and reverence for the rights bestowed on us through grace and the glory of God.
Trump noting a common history between the U.S. and France going back before the Revolutionary War. Federal judge ordering the Trump administration to resume accepting new DACA recipients. Judge rejecting the administration's claim for now that the Obama-era program protecting immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children is unlawful. A Republican, the winner of a special congressional election in the GOP stronghold of Arizona, former state Senator Debbie Lesko holds off her Democratic challenger, political neophyte Hiral Tipirneni.
All I can say is, wow, this is really something. I'm going to be a congresswoman. Woo-hoo!
Lesko will serve out the term of former Representative Trent Franks, who resigned over sexual harassment allegations. Suspect in the shooting of 2 Dallas police officers this morning is behind bars.
Mr. Armando Luis Jerez was arrested. He's facing multiple counts, a warrant for multiple counts of aggravated assault on a police officer.
Police Chief Renee Hall saying Armando Juarez was taken into custody after a police chase on Tuesday night. The new head of the EPA wants to limit the use of what he calls secret science in creating new environmental rules. EPA Chief Scott Pruitt announcing new rules that would ban the EPA from relying on research that doesn't make raw data behind it available for review by the general public. This morning, cleanup continues after a massive overnight blaze struck Chicago's Jewelers Row. And an Illinois Department of Corrections parolee who escaped has been recaptured in Glenview. More details are being shared about the DUI arrest of Romeoville Mayor John Noak. Police there releasing a report indicating Noak told the police chief he was coming for him and made statements to other officers that those officers considered hostile and threatening. Chicago sports, Kyle Schwarber 2 solo home runs and a Cubs win over the Indians 10-3. Mariners blank the White Sox 1-0. The news a service of La Quinta Inns and Suites. How do business travelers win on the road? By staying at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Relax with contemporary lobby makeovers and stylish room designs. Prepare to win at business. Book now at lq.com. 5:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher loves the hypocrisy of the left.
This bastion of progressivism, Starbucks, where people who sit around for hours upon hours. You're going to tell me two black guys can't sit at a table without being bothered? And I love every bit of the consequences that pretentious, overpriced place is now having to pay.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Supporting veterans is our passion. That's why we support Veteran Roasters, a Chicago coffee roaster that hires homeless and chronically unemployed veterans. If you'd like to help create jobs for homeless veterans, visit veteranroasters.com and purchase a 12-ounce bag of coffee roasted and ground by once homeless and unemployed veterans. The coffee's delicious, and the profits are reinvested in hiring additional homeless veterans. Use promo code Team Hochberg to save 50% off the second bag you purchase. If you're a veteran securing a VA loan and would like to work with a local lender who supports veterans, call Team Hochberg now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
5:35. The man with the knowledge on the roads this morning is Jim Telemonte, and he is in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike and McHenry. Ringwood Road remains closed. Martin and McCullum Lake Road, this is for a crash investigation. Downtown Chicago, streets have reopened after that multi-alarm blaze. In the right near Madison and Wabash, 5 South Wabash. And the cleanup is ongoing, but the streets are open. Inbound Bishop Ford, it is heavy this morning with the delays starting around 111th. It's 26 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Inbound I-57, there's now a 2-minute delay, Holstead to the Ryan. Inbound Ryan slow from the merge to 79th and approaching downtown. It's 18 minutes, 95th to the loop. Edens, Kennedy still fine. Eisenhower, little congestion east of 25th. Stevenson, inbound heavy starting in Harlem, 38 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Tollways look good. Traffic service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day. Use your Lowe's business credit account. It's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Breezy, cooler. Clouds and sun today, a high of 54, clear and chilly 36 overnight. Currently, we have 46 at O'Hare, 42 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Retirement Zone Radio and the North Shore Capital Group, empowering you Saturday afternoons at 4.
Who can take a sunrise?
Sprinkle it with you. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson, and in for Dan and Amy, and we've got a tweet from Kevin Rooney. And you can tweet us. I'm at Bruce Wolf Shy, C-H-I, Chicago, Bruce Wolf Shy. And Sean is at Sean, S-H-A-U-N, from EP. But he says, I didn't know that Katharine Hepburn did a version of Candyman, and that is such an insult to me. Did I sound like a Katharine Hepburn when I was... No, I was going, who can take an opioid?
What did I tell you?
Dispense it out to you. Our Rear Admiral's nominations through... That's Sammy all the way. We're talking about Ronnie Jackson, who could be done. Although he's going to fight it. Ronnie Jackson is going to fight it, and he's ready to go in there before Congress and say, yeah, I'm a little bit drunk. Yeah, I was causing a ruckus and almost woke up President Obama, who gave me a recommendation. Did you see? Obama gave him a strong recommendation. So did Trump. Now all of a sudden they're going to go back on that?
Did you pay attention to Obama? He was drunk too, apparently. Did you see his policies?
Well, how about...
Man, oh man, not to mention the old lady. That's something you do when you're intoxicated.
I'm thinking the reason they got the great recommendations from the Obamas were he was dispensing opioids to Obama.
Give me a little more, baby. Come on.
So there you go. Now,
and the other thing is, drunk will always fight back. I mean, are you shocked at this? You ever been around drunks? What did you say to me? Everybody wants to go in the parking lot. At least that's how it was.
They think.
Yeah.
They think that they...
Until they're
they
tasting
get brave.
the pavement.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit worried about Iran and what the president's going to do because he met with Macron yesterday. And I'm concerned because I read this article in the Washington Free Beacon. That's one of our papers. And I think it was leaked to the Washington Free Beacon by Bolton, who's upset that Trump is just using him as a fake hawk in the administration, and Trump wants to cave on the Iran deal. That's the way it feels right now. I even saw a CNN headline, and they were talking to David Gregory, the erstwhile host of Meet the Press, that Trump looks like he might want to move on and accept the Iran deal and not throw it out on May 12th. Here's a quote from this. The Tillerson-McMaster negotiating team is carrying water for the Europeans. They're still negotiating this. So he's brought on Bolton, and he's going to bring on Pompeo, but they still got the Tillerson group that's negotiating the Iran deal. So what do they want? What do we want? Capitulation. When do we want it? Now. And this is from supposedly one administration insider with knowledge of the nuclear talks, referring to H.R. McMaster, the recently fired national security advisor, who also was viewed as going along with the European concessions on Iran's nuclear program. What Europe wants, what Macron wants, is they want these multi-billion-dollar deals with Iran to help their economies, and they want to let Iran have the short-range nuclear missiles to take out Israel and anybody else in the Middle East, just as long as they don't take out France. So I need this guy who married his mother, Macron, dictating to us what's going on. No, sacre bleu.
Did you just take my joke and refurbish it?
What was your joke?
Yesterday, I told you what's going to happen during the meeting is that Trump and Macron's wife are going to talk about Leave It to Beaver while the kids go play in the yard. You just said it.
All right.
You just refurbished it. Damn it. He steals my good stuff, too.
That's right. I'm the Milton Berle of
my word.
conservative right-wing radio.
Here's the problem I see with most people, and I saw it during the primary, is that most people must not deal with salesmen on a daily basis like myself, right? Mm-hmm. Being a real estate broker, I'm very familiar with different cheesy sales tactics, and in particular,
are you going to pull a Trump on me right now and say that you're a businessman and you know how to make deals?
No.
Yeah.
It's not deals. That's somebody's going to get the short end of the stick. And what Trump is really good at is playing both ends against the middle.
Yeah.
Right, and then he sees where the popularity is midstream, and that's the move. Now they used to call that pliable, when the fact is it's just finger in the wind. What's going to keep me popular? And that's really the gift of Trump. It really is. Because if you remember Trump, like I do, in the 80s and the 90s when he was pretend running, he was all about pulling all this stuff out, about stopping American intervention in foreign lands.
Right.
Now that he's actually the guy, he's Bush. He's Jeb Bush. You're witnessing a hybrid of Jeb Bush and Barack Obama policies.
Well, and if he listens to Macron, we're going to stay in Syria, but we're going to pull out, but we're going to let Iran do what it wants to do. Or not pull out of that deal.
Here's the
so what's Bolton and Pompeo doing there? They're just window dressing.
We're giving air cover to Iran's policies in Syria. Iran doesn't like Syria.
Well,
right? Iran wants the pipeline cutting through Syria.
Well, Iran uses Syria as a client state.
Right, so they can't stand Assad. When for decades, Assad and his old man were kind of our allies. So now the idea that a week after we do Iran's bidding in bombing Assad, and now all of a sudden we're tough on Iran, is a joke. And that's only believed by the Krishnas with the Make America Great Again hat on. That's it.
No.
The only ones who believe that.
I don't know that we were doing Iran's bidding by bombing Assad.
Well,
I
really?
don't. But in the great eight-level chess game that you're playing, and Trump only
Bobby
plays
Fischer?
6,
Yeah.
and Trump only plays 6.
Here's what I think. I think those guys in dresses,
maybe
the
you see
Shaw
that.
and the other guy, the little guy who looks like Klinger, they were doing that Russian dance they like to do right after we bombed. Because nobody was happier about the bombing than the inbreds in Iran. Nobody.
Why were the inbreds in Iran
they
happy
can't
about
stand
that?
Assad. And not to mention they're backdoor funding ISIS, Hezbollah, whatever they're calling themselves.
They're definitely
this week.
on both sides.
Okay?
Yeah, I understand
So
that.
Assad's kicking their tail, and then all of a sudden we bomb them.
Look, Assad didn't mind. This is where like a guy like Tucker Carlson's an idiot. And I love him. He's smart.
See what he's doing, ladies and gentlemen. He's back there calling me an idiot.
No,
but he doesn't want to do it we're
because
4 feet
Tucker
away.
Carlson
Go
says,
ahead.
why, if we're pulling out of Tucker Carlson didn't even believe that Assad used chemical weapons on his own people, on the enemy, because why, if we're pulling out, would he antagonize us? The reason he would do it is because he knows that we're not going to give more than a pinprick strike against him, and he's going to show the other side that he means business with the chemical weapons. That's why. And he doesn't even countenance that. And he's got his own show on Fox. And he lives in a $3.8 million house in Washington,
there it is,
D.C.
the Green Devil. Little jealous, aren't you?
Totally,
Yeah,
man.
Okay,
Plus, he went to prep school with Julie Bowen.
There you go. I mean, it's just envy. I would have liked a lot more investigation in that. I really would have.
Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to show me a couple pictures I'm all
got
in?
a tinfoil hat?
No, I don't have a tinfoil hat.
Do you
I like
believe
to
in the
think.
Seth Rich conspiracy, too?
I have a hard time believing liars. All right? So for decades, all the media, even you Trump people, all the media is terrible, fake news. They give you one red meat that you like, and now you're all in. I mean, I think the American public, really, I think they need collars and leashes. They just want to be led around. It's sickening.
Look, I hold a few truths to be self-evident, and one of them
here we
is
go,
that
Hamilton.
that Assad used chemical weapons on his own people.
I don't buy it.
But I'm a little concerned that Trump will sell Israel down the river.
Oh, look at
I'm
you.
a little worried about that. Oh yeah, my loyalty is to the state of Israel. I'm not to the United States of America.
Don't worry. No matter what happens, we're going to keep funding everybody. The Saudis, Israel, the money will stay.
I mean,
still keep flowing.
if he takes this deal, what Macron wants, then John Bolton's going to be out of there faster than Scaramucci was. Let's take a check of the traffic and the weather right now.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Always gets the last word. Today, breezy and cooler with times of clouds and sun, high 54. You're so beat up, you think that's nice. Tonight, clear and chilly, low 36. Tomorrow, partly sunny. It's going to get up to 65. Then I got to watch these old men with their shorts on and the white legs. Friday, some sun, high 60. Jim Telemonte, are we going to have a good Wednesday or are dummies abound?
Wednesdays tend to be rough, Sean. Let's hope today's a little bit different. We already have some delays on the inbound Kennedy. It's heavy Cumberland to Foster, 22 minutes, so O'Hare to downtown. Up on Fonda, 20. Eden's still good. The Eisenhower's inbound delays starting at First Avenue, 32 minutes, 390 to downtown. Up on Fonda, 29. Inbound Stevenson delays start at First Avenue. It's 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 20 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 19 minutes, I-80 to the Merge. Bishop, 436, really heavy. Starting 411th Street. Tollways are fine. Northwest Indiana's good. Streets have reopened in the Loop after a fire right near Madison and Wabash, actually at 5 South Wabash. And this had streets closed, including State and Madison, but the streets have reopened. The cleanup continues. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Americans in every tax bracket got a tax cut thanks to the tax bill signed into law last year, which means you've got more money to spend on what's important to you. Democrats in Congress who voted against the tax cuts are promising to raise your taxes if they win in November. They want your money back to spend on their priorities. Only you can stop them. To find out how much more money you'll be bringing home, go to taxcutswork.com. There's an easy-to-use calculator that tells you how much money the new tax cuts are saving you this year and next. Check your savings at taxcutswork.com and then sign a letter to Congress telling them to keep their hands off your tax cut savings. The Tax Cuts Work Tour is coming to the Fauna International at 1900 Averill Road in Geneva on Sunday, April 29th at 2 p.m. Meet small business owners, elected officials, and the folks from Job Creators Network to hear how the tax cuts are working and share your story, too. That's Fauna International in Geneva on Sunday, April 29th at 2 p.m. Learn more at taxcutswork.com.
Buy a Zipa and feel good. That's ZYPPAH.com. And when you stop your snoring, you're going to sleep better. You sleep better, you're going to feel better. Don't procrastinate. Go to Zeepa.com, buy a Zeepa, and feel good. That's ZYPPAH.com. And when you stop your snoring, you're going to sleep better. You sleep better, you're going to feel better. Come on, let's get things going, people. Don't procrastinate. Go to Zeepa.com, buy a Zeepa, and feel good. That's ZYPPAH.com.
Here's the cold, hard truth about hard water in our homes. Nearly 90% of America is affected by it. Hard water contains harsh minerals that can dry out skin and hair. Hard water can raise our electricity bill by up to 48%. It even creates buildup in pipes that can lead to pathogenic bacteria growth. Stressed out yet? Don't be. Salt-based water softeners can solve all your hard water issues. Get the full scoop at alittlesalt.org.
What I suffer from is anxiety, along with depression. But I feel the anxiety triggers depression more times than not. My first experience with HPR was my initial interview. It was welcoming. It felt very good. I saw results pretty much immediately. Even after my first treatment, I felt different than when I came in. I think HPR could work for pretty much anyone. I think that what HPR has done for me was awaken a part of my brain that either stopped working or never worked. I think everybody can benefit from HPR. I'm Alex, and HPR Treatments has helped save my life.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life, and it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. Cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR Centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
Ever hire a plumber at an odd time for an emergency? The hourly rate could send you into cardiac arrest. It'd be nice to have someone on call 24/7 for those once every few year emergencies, but probably not necessary. Now, your business is IT? That's a completely different story. The potential for problems if your IT system isn't properly maintained could be more than those once every few year plumbing backups. For peace of mind, turn to Turnkey IT. Their monthly support contracts will keep your business's computer systems online and running well. No more waiting for an hourly IT tech to get back to you and charging you an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey will keep your business's computer system online with unlimited on-site and remote support. And for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Get the secure feeling your business backbone is supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
AM 560. The Answer.
Good music.
You're cold as ice, Basie.
Oh,
baby.
Boy. Yeah.
I've been overserved by Sean, the former bartender.
Wednesday, the old man's running out.
Set him up, Joe. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. We'll hear from them in Mexico in the next hour. But do you see what happened with this Toronto thing? You know, the van.
Yeah.
And I think that that was the van thing. Yeah, right. The Waffle House was the AR-15. I got to keep my massacres straight here.
I don't like when this happens and we know more about the perpetrator than we do the people he killed.
Well, that is
That
kind of
bothers
sad.
me. There was a baby in a carriage.
Oh.
What happened? Is the baby okay?
And you know that I want the common sense rental car reform.
You must.
Yeah.
For
So do you know they're trying to find out what he did and who he glorified?
Yeah.
Apparently, this whole thing involves the fact that he was involuntarily celibate. That he had a hard time getting chicks. Then that's what it came down to, because the guy, his hero was this guy who there's this guy who did a massacre in California, who himself was anti-women, was a misogynist because he couldn't get any babes. I mean, that's what it comes down to, and it's like the
why don't they just become Republicans like the rest of them?
Well, right, but it's, you know, you think of the whole opioid epidemic with all these working class guys who can't get any jobs, who can't support a family, who are marginalized. I mean, this is, you know, the tip of the iceberg right here. I mean, it's the worst part when you get guys who will do this. But it seems to be a symptom of the whole phenomenon. I mean, the guy was that's what he complained about, that he couldn't get any women.
So can we kill him now? You know, because I don't like the idea that, what is he, 30? Well, how old is this moron?
I think he was 30? You know what I'm getting? You know what I'm actually conflating the two guys, the guy at the Waffle House and this guy, because they're basically
in either case
two versions of the same thing.
They're going to go to some sanitarium somewhere, and they're going to live the way you and I work to live in our older age, where everybody waits on them hand and foot. They're going to cost the state $80,000 a year to take care of these two buffoons.
But they are emblematic of a widespread cultural phenomenon right now. And it's something that Trump appealed to because he said, I feel your pain. That's what he did, and that's why he got that white vote that the people that didn't go to college.
That's a leap, boy.
No, I don't think it's that far-fetched.
Well, I don't know how you could equate a Trump supporter, of which I disagree with him on
Trump
many
supporters
levels.
are not mass murderers.
I mean, you're
I didn't
tying up
say
sexual
that.
frustration there somewhere.
There's no question there's sexual. Well,
Really? Did you see the Interior Department?
Who do you think
appointed by Obama? You want to talk about sexual frustration?
Who do you think?
You don't know who has a urinal, who doesn't in that. Come on.
Who do you think the neo-Nazis are? First of all, they're not Aryans. They're Slavic. A lot of
The
them.
neo-Nazis are socialists.
No, the neo-Nazis. Forget the politics of it. Look at the psychology of it. They're guys, who are living in their mother's basement, and I have this fantasy of having some power over their lives.
If you're equating the stoking of hatred to motivate votes, okay, but to equate the sexual frustration, mental illness of a guy that drives vans into
that's
hordes
the
of
worst
people.
case scenario of that
okay.
phenomenon. There's a whole spectrum here.
Why don't you simply find out who the guy supports politically?
I don't think
it'll answer all
I don't
of your
think he was a
questions.
MAGA guy.
Something
Look, I voted for Trump. Okay, you didn't.
No,
I voted for Trump, and I'll vote for him again. So, but I'm not a kind of guy but I've succeeded in life. I'm working with you today. This is the creme. This is the pièce de resistance.
He had the same shirt on for a month. Yeah, I got you. But listen, I understand the basis of the analogy. I just disagree with the outcome. So, in other words, do I think that
I'm trying to parse that statement right now. Now I'm pulling a damn Proft on you, right?
Go right ahead.
Do we have to take a break, Mr. Snerdley? We do. And
I like when we just talk.
Well,
all right.
We do have to pay some of the bills right now.
Yeah, I get it.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
Hey guys, your prostate should be the last thing on your mind, but the fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostate1perday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
5:57. Let's get a check on the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. In McHenry, Ringwood Road remains shut down from McCullum Lake Road at Barton. This is for an ongoing crash investigation. Downtown streets have reopened around Madison and Wabash after a multi-alarm fire. Edens looks good right now. Kennedy inbound tight, Cumberland to Foster. 23 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 21. About Eisenhower, delays start at First Avenue. 32 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Stevenson heavy early. It is 48 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 21 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 29 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Crash at Holstead. Bishop Ford, 35 minutes, 8094 to Ryan. Traffic. Service of Al Pamati Ford. Stop. Before you buy your new car, you must visit Al Pavati Ford now. Truckloads of new cars and trucks have just arrived. Everything is priced to sell quickly. Al Pavati Ford, the 25th and North Avenue in Melrose Park. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, breezy with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Clouds and sun with a high 54. Clear night, low 36. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high 65. And a partly cloudy night, low 41. Then Friday, some sun with a high of 60. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
46 at O'Hare. The news service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 5:59, here are the stories we're following this morning on AM 560. The Answer. Cleanup continues after a massive overnight blaze struck Chicago's Jewelers Row. 2 men were rescued. 1 firefighter suffered minor injuries. Illinois' death toll from synthetic marijuana is 4. A 4th person, a woman in her 20s from Central Illinois, passed away after using that fake pot. An Illinois appeals court has ruled the winner of a suburban Chicago mayoral election is not eligible to hold the position because of a felony conviction. Some protesters at the University of Illinois want a complete ban of Chief Illini Weck from the campus and football and basketball games next year. Cubs top the Indians 10-3. Mariners blank the White Sox 1-0 at Guaranteed Rate Field. First round of the NFL Draft is tomorrow from Arlington. The Bears still hold the number 8 selection overall. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Another judge blocks President Trump on DACA. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and this ruling might force the administration to allow new applications from immigrants brought here illegally as kids. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, calling President Trump's decision to end DACA arbitrary and capricious. A federal judge ruled the administration must accept and process new and renewal applications for the Obama-era program. The judge is giving the Homeland Security Department 90 days to, quote, better explain its view that DACA is unlawful. In a statement, the Justice Department said it looks forward to vindicating its position. President Trump announced the program would end last fall and asked Congress to find a fix for the so-called Dreamers. So far, it has failed to do so. Dave.
Rachel, the president's travel ban gets a hearing today at the Supreme Court. It restricts travel from 7 countries, most of them majority Muslim. Judges have ruled it's unconstitutional.
The administration says the orders are within the president's authority to temporarily block entry for national security. 6 of the countries listed in the travel ban are Muslim majority. Critics say it's an attempt to follow through on President Trump's campaign proposal to ban Muslim immigration.
Fox's Jared Halpern, France's president, was honored at the White House last night.
Melania and I are profoundly honored to host you and your entire French delegation for our first official state dinner.
Today, Emmanuel Macron will address a joint meeting of Congress expected to urge the U.S. not to back out of an Iran nuclear deal President Trump calls insane and a disaster. The president is standing by Ronnie Jackson, the White House doctor he wants to become the next Secretary of Veterans Affairs.
He's a fine man. I'll always stand behind him.
Jackson's confirmation hearing set for today was put on hold in the Senate amid allegations of ethical misconduct and an overprescribing of drugs. 2 Dallas police officers are in critical condition. They had a Home Depot employee were shot by a man they were trying to remove from a store yesterday. He fled and was caught hours later after high-speed chase. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Buying a new tractor? You owe it to yourself to visit your LS Tractor dealer. LS Tractors give you a lot more tractor for less money compared to other brands. For starters, LS Tractor comes with more select features as standard equipment. They make operating your tractor easier with better performance to get more work done quicker. Compare and you'll know who gives you more tractor for your money. LS Tractor. Excel in your field. Learn more at lstractorusa.com.
Visit Abbey Equipment in Streeter and get more tractor.
Hi, I'm Darla from Cintas.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. We have so much to do. I need fire extinguishers, right?
We'll place them for you and be out for regular inspection.
Great. And what about my new hires?
We'll get them into uniforms and keep them looking sharp.
What about this first aid cabinet?
Fully stocked.
It wasn't this morning.
It is now. And so are the restrooms.
Wow, Cintas really seems to know what we need.
You said it.
Oh, I'm ready!
Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
Warmer temps are here, spring is in the air, and spring cleaning is too. Elgin Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal, copper, aluminum, brass, and steel. Time to clean out the garage, basement, and junk drawers. Clear it out now and get cash. Contact Elgin Recycling. They've got 4 drop-off locations with truck scales, convenient to I-90. Contractors, ask about on-site weigh and pay services. Get cash now for your scrap metal. Contact Elgin Recycling today at 847-741-4100 or online at elginrecycling.com. Televisions and computers have come a long way this past decade, which leaves behind thousands of old TVs, monitors, electronics, and more. Elgin Recycling does electronic recycling too. They've got services that include TV recycling, collection events, digital data destruction, IT asset management, and more. Contact Elgin Recycling today at 847-741-4100 or online at elginrecycling.com. elginrecycling.com.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-471-9807. That's 800-471-9807. 800-471-9807. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show, a show about the greatest financial crime in history. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. We'll hear from Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico with some of the listeners a little bit later on. And so did you see yesterday, everybody makes a big deal about the optics and what you can read into the gestures when these two heads of state meet. So we had Macron, the French president, with Donald Trump.
And his mom, Macron's mom.
Well, yeah, did you see that Trump knocked some dandruff off of the lapel, whatever, of Macron? And people were making a big deal out of it. First of all, I got to say that Trump is head and shoulders above Macron. Can I have a rim shot?
Did I see it? I sent it to you. You don't even look at the
head
emails.
and shoulders above him. See dandruff? Okay.
You don't even look at the emails I sent you. I sent you that.
That you did? Yes, that's why we used it.
So here's why I sent it to you, and I'm
Okay.
glad for the lead-in.
Okay. Sure.
As you know, I don't like policies. You hear me. I'm constantly arguing against Trumponomics, constantly arguing against interventionist policies. But I will say this: the guy can't catch a break. They were making fun of him on all the news stations
Right.
today. I mean, what's so bad about it?
I don't think it was all
I
that
thought it was
bad.
kind of nice.
No, but
the
here-
one thing about Trump is that when people meet him, whether they had a preconceived idea about him or not, they all come away from these private meetings and they all like him.
You know, I've heard
He's a
that about Al
charismatic
Gore.
guy.
I've heard that about Hillary Clinton too.
Well, Al Gore, they just want in on that scam. Al Gore, throw it out. Everybody wants in on that global warming Nazi scam, right? Like the guy from Virginia, the bag man who was the governor.
McAuliffe? Yeah.
Look at him and Hillary Clinton's brother. They open up a car company, an energy company. They don't have an office.
Terry
No
McAuliffe
office.
is going to be the proximate cause of the end of the FBI because of the dealing with Andrew McCabe.
Bruce, if
But
we could
yeah.
have a scam like this, no office. They get a grant from the government for $160
Al
million.
Gore sold
Go
Al
on, send her
Jazeera
on.
to the Arabs.
I mean, you want to talk
Oh,
about a
it's horrible.
scam. Cut me in or cut it out.
So it's funny that you mentioned this whole thing about how the left was portraying Trump in the worst possible light because he brushed off some dandruff from Macron. Somebody's put out this quote. It's from Jane Goodall. Do you remember Jane Goodall?
Sure I do.
She studied the monkeys.
Still
and all
around,
that.
huh?
It's amazing. So a quote from Jane Goodall. When the aging gorilla is confronted with the much more virile new alpha male, he shows submissiveness by grooming the alpha male, but the gesture is actually a vain attempt by the old gorilla to humiliate his much younger rival. Well, first of all, remember, I don't think Macron is an alpha male. The guy, as you mentioned, married his mother, all right? Now, I happen to think that Melania should go up to Mrs. Macron and tell her to shave her armpits because you know about those French women.
Well, I will say this. The older I get, the harder Darwin is to argue with. My word. All right. That's kind of a point that,
Trump was not being submissive there. He's boorish. He shouldn't have done that.
One thing that...
But, I mean, Macron is an alpha male?
Once again, I will revert to the salesman. You know what
Yeah.
salesmen learn to do very young? It's almost instinctively what makes good salesmen and bad, is they learn to play off their counterpart, the person they want something from.
Right.
They learn to where to be submissive and where to be aggressive. You learn that, and that's, let's not forget what Trump really is. He's a salesman. That's what he really is.
Is he a good salesman, though? He went bankrupt
he's
3
in the
times.
president.
Well, yeah,
he's in the White House.
He did get himself to be the president of the United States.
There's a difference between a good businessman and a good salesman. There's a big difference.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a
This
big
is
difference.
a distinction without a difference.
Well, look at
as far
most
as I'm
car dealers.
concerned.
Look at most car salesmen.
I'm listening
They're
to-
busted
I'm listening
professionally.
to-
They make a ton of money, and they're broke, personally. But they make a ton of money. Most salesmen make a ton of money and end up broke. You next time you're at one of those Vidocs and that guy with the long hair and the sign "Feed Me," ask him what he did. 9 times out of 10, salesman. All right, explains it.
I always thought they were veterans. Is that like a come on? They really weren't veterans?
Yeah, the 30-year-old with the sign "I was in Vietnam." Yeah, not too
That's
much.
true. It's
My favorite
It's
is the
kind
guy-
of anachronistic.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much.
Or the
right
guy with
here.
the $100 shoes says, "I'll work for food." No, you won't. You're scamming for drug money. That's how I raise my kids. Don't give them a
I have
nickel.
given away so much money to these squeegee guys right at the feeder ramp onto Ohio Street.
I tell them,
No,
"You want
okay.
a sandwich? There's a McDonald's. I'll go buy you a sandwich. See if they say yes."
You know what? I remember when we brought our son to the University of Wisconsin. He was starting his freshman year, and I thought this was odd because I thought Wisconsin was progressive and radical. They said, "Don't feed the homeless. Don't give the homeless money.
Like
They'll just spend it on drink." And I was thinking, wait a minute, this is Wisconsin. They would be the kinds that would say, "Bring the homeless into your home." And so that was my view. Okay, don't do it because they'll just spend the money on drugs or booze. Now I've totally changed my mind because I think they're just trying to self-medicate. They have their lives are
Well, what did I
nothing
say to
but
you?
despair. So I would give money. I would give money to the homeless so that they could spend it on booze.
Now, what did I say? to
Yeah.
you? When socialism is implemented in any country, 2 things happen: suicide rate goes up, and intoxication level goes up because people are hopeless. You
Right.
understand? So not everybody's got that communist streak in them where they're like that morphodite John from Mundelein, right? Where they espouse the government to seize your neighbor's stuff because you don't have the courage to. Most people say, I don't want to do that. I'm too good of a person to want to see my neighbor stripped of his goods. I just can't handle
Please
reality.
don't mention the listeners by name because
just-
then I feel like I have to give them equal
Oh,
time.
come on. He's already called 3 times. We just won't let him.
So, did you see where Jim Comey? 2 things. One is that his favorite TV show is Homeland. He says, "I care about Carrie and I miss Pete." Now, one of the problems is I like Homeland too, and this bothers me. Barack Obama liked The Wire. I like that too, and that bothers me when I like the same TV programs as guys that I can't stand.
I think what should bother you is that you had a political sycophant fraud running the FBI.
Well,
call
that's
me
true.
silly. His
That's true.
TV habits don't bother me.
Did you know that Homeland is this is how unoriginal Hollywood is. This season, there are at least 2 TV shows that I watch that have used the 25th Amendment as a plot device. Removal of the president for being incompetent. One is Homeland, spoiler alert, and the other one is designated survivor with Kiefer Sutherland, who mumbles his way through every role that he's ever had.
You're just figuring out that television is the jab of propaganda to policy? Figuring that out?
One more thing about Comey. This was hysterical to me. Did you know who his new personal attorney is?
Oh, is it Albright? Because she's my favorite. Gloria Albright with the same suit on.
Albright.
What's her name? Albright, all red.
Whatever.
Who
all
cares?
red, all blue.
You know what? Their names aren't even,
Biv. Yes.
And I'll tell you what. Their names aren't even worth listening.
Patrick Fitzgerald.
Oh, he's
Does the name ring a bell?
Well, he's the godfather to his kid, isn't
Well,
he?
Patrick Fitzgerald, of course, came into the news. Well, Comey was the deputy attorney general when Fitzgerald was named the prosecutor of Scooter Libby, which was one of the most ridiculous cases. Trump just pardoned Scooter Libby. Why? Because usually you have an underlying crime there, but it wasn't even a crime to out Valerie Plame. If it was a crime, Scooter Libby didn't do it. Richard Armitage did it. And Scooter Libby didn't even lie to the FBI. The basis for the conviction of Scooter Libby was the testimony of Judith Miller, the New York Times reporter, who said that if Fitzgerald had not fought withholding exculpatory evidence in that case, that she never would have testified against
You're
Scooter
just
Libby.
learning?
Well, and then this is the guy who mysteriously cut short his investigation into Blagojevich and Jesse Jackson right when he's got Blagojevich but doesn't go for Jesse Jackson. Why didn't he throw the Tribune writers in jail who reported on this and blew the cover of the FBI when he's willing to throw Judith Miller in jail for the Scooter Libby case? I ask you, was it because maybe Patrick Fitzgerald was the guy who was leaking to the Chicago Tribune there? I don't know.
See, and if
it's a question I'd like to ask.
First of all, if Patrick Fitzgerald had the virtue people pretend he has, he'd be going after McCabe. He would distance himself from this fraud, another 7-foot moron, Comey, who admitted to leaking top secret information, who admitted to using a political dossier as an excuse to abuse and misuse the FISA court, who also, in his entire career, back to the anthrax case, has been a failure and a fraud. Right. You know when the government shells out $5 million, how stupid you have to be that they can't defend themselves, that they say, here's $5 million, go away? Everything Comey has touched is a failure.
Well,
Yet he gets the raise, the pension,
everything
the whole
that he has done, but a lot of things are questionable, including when he pressured hospitalized John Ashcroft years and years
ago. And that goes for that John Kerry impersonator Mueller too, the other idiot.
So, you know, it's Fitzy. Fitzy's involved in it. And you ever see the Chicago media take on Fitzgerald? No, they don't. You know, we're the Carroll Marines to take on Fitzgerald.
Because the best you're going to get in Illinois is a pretend virtuous Democrat posing as a Republican, like Fitzgerald, like Pat Brady, like all of these guys.
Wait.
Anytime I can, I check them into the board.
No,
Do you understand?
That's an elbow. 2 minutes for
That's
elbowing
fine.
Pat Brady.
Yeah.
I have to recuse myself for discussion of Pat Brady. He's a friend of mine.
Not me.
But do listen. Pat Brady and Dan Proft will be debating each other.
Yeah, and I'll be the guy in
May
the front row with the dog collar on.
At the City Club. That's a place I've never been to. Is that like in the Union
I don't
League
pay
Club?
attention.
Where,
I get the
where is
address.
that?
I have the guy take me there. I don't pay attention.
Is that, you guys just sit around, with cigars?
Don't
and
say you
smoke?
guys. I don't go in the city unless I absolutely have to. I go east of Harlem. I start to get sick.
All right, let's take a check of the traffic and the weather. Right, and give us a call at 312-642-5600. We're going to listen to Philip. We're going to take his call right after these words.
Nice.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Today, breezy and cooler with times of clouds and sun, formerly called weather. High 54. Tonight, clear and chilly, low 36. Can you hear I'm getting sick, Bruce? Getting sick. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high 65. Tomorrow night, 41. Jim Telemonte, come on, where are the dummies that don't know you can make a right on red after you stop?
All right, Sean, thanks. Good morning. Good morning, Bruce. Inbound I-57. At a jam for 115th to Holstead. Crash the two left lanes. 30 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 25 minutes. 80-94 to the Rhine. Delays start around 111th. And the Rhine is getting heavier now. It's a 22-minute drive, 95th to downtown. Edens, 21 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, up on 19. Kennedy, 23 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, up on 22. Oz, an hour heavy. Starting at First Avenue with 50 minutes. 390 to downtown, up on 31. Stevenson, looking at 49 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Northbound Tri-State, it's slow approaching the Eisenhower. Eastbound Adams tollway tight approaching the Kennedy. The other tollways are good. Streets are open again in the loop after a multi-alarm fire right at Madison and Wabash. McHenry Ringwood Road is closed. Cullum Lake Road to Martin, crash investigation. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Game show idea. Comey, Corey, or Christian. I'm going to read a series of passages, and you tell me which was said or written by former FBI Director Jim Comey, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, or 50 Shades of Grey protagonist Christian Grey. Let's begin. I want you to know that nothing has happened in the last year to change my view. Boy, those were the words I needed to hear. I know. And the East Coast loves you, and by the East Coast, I mean me. Do you think gay sex is a perversion? We lie there, panting together, waiting for our breathing to slow. He gently strokes my hair. Boy, I survived. That wasn't so bad. He was not going to get a hug without being a whole lot stronger than he looked. He wasn't. He holds out his hand, and in his palm are two shiny silver balls linked with a thick black thread. As he extended his hand, I made a mental note to check its size. It was smaller than mine, but did not seem unusually so. Look out, E.L. James. Jim Comey and Cory Booker are coming for you.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
You know, it's not too late to service your furnace or too early for your AC. And the company you know you can depend on is the original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling. They're not one of those massive impersonal companies with inexperienced technicians and subcontractors. Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling sends only their own highly skilled technicians. From service to installation and everything in between, their work quality and customer service is the best. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling keeps homes and businesses comfy and warm. Call Carrie at 847-545-1700 or visit ArlingtonHeightsHeatingandCooling.com. Mention AM 560 and receive 20% off your first service call. That's Carrie at 847-545-1700 or online at ArlingtonHeightsHeatingandCooling.com. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, not the biggest, just the best.
It's not easy being a mom. But my Chrysler Pacifica makes soccer practice a little more fun. I can binge all my shows with the available Uconnect Theater, open the Stow and Go seating to grab my hidden romance novel, or just jam out to the radio.
Hey, Mom, what was that song?
Huh? What song? I didn't hear a song.
Chrysler Pacifica. It's loaded with attitude. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson, in for Dan and Amy. They're in Mexico. We'll hear from them later this hour. We were talking a little bit about the homeless. And I said that I actually, in theory, I haven't actually really done this, would give them money to spend on booze so that they could self-medicate.
Yeah.
Because
this is coming from a guy who's never picked up a lunch tab. But go ahead.
But I'd give it to the homeless. Philip from the Northwest Side, good morning.
Good morning. Thompson, Gunn, and the Wolf. You guys are like Dan and Amy with a few drinks in you.
Safe Dad.
Thank you.
Listen, as far as the homeless, we got to get them off the street. Not because of the annoyance, but because he keeps stepping between the trucks. They're going to get squashed. One guy got squashed at 290 in Ashland.
Well, their problem solved.
Stand to watch. Huh?
Well, you can't get people off of the streets. It's their streets. I disagree with you.
No. Just get them to the corner. We can feed them. Just don't give them canned goods because they throw them back at your car.
See, I miss the days of the old boxcar bumps.
Does that really happen? That
Yes,
they
it
throw
really
the
does.
canned
Yes, it really
because they
does.
don't want the canned goods. What are they going to do with that?
Well, they come hopping across the street limping. They all got the same limp, like it's Night of the Living Dead. Unless you chamber a 9 behind the windshield, then all of a sudden there's no more limp to the walk. So, anyway, you guys have a great day.
Thank you so much, Philip. Nice hunk there. Really good.
You see, but I have to tell you,
Wow, that was one of the greatest anti-homeless screeds I've ever heard.
I like the fact that right now in San Francisco, the policies of these bad, ill-run cities are showing themselves in the fact that you have these. San Francisco is an anomaly. You can't rent an apartment. A studio is like $4,000 a month. Yet you go down the street and people are defecating in the sidewalk.
Right.
See, that's the policies of San Francisco.
Well, but it's not an
I
anomaly.
Like it. It shows itself. Keep doing it.
This goes back to the Roman Empire. You would have the elite who would be in league with the poor against the middle, because the elite wanted to take care of the poor. I mean, they always live side by side somehow, and that's all that will live in like the big cities. I mean, what do you have in Chicago right now? You got the middle class has been squeezed out. You got the only people who can afford the only people who could afford to live there are the Gold Coast people, the kinds like Pritzker and Edwin Eisendrath, the owner of the Chicago Sun-Times, who purports to be for the working man who can't even live in the city of Chicago anymore. And then you have the destitute as well, who live on some on welfare.
This is because pretend conservatives accept socialism in the form of credit, Keynesian funding. So the middle class you speak of, they exist on credit. The middle class now are those that have good enough credit to carry their lifestyle. There is no real, and that's why I'm looking forward to Stephen Moore at 7:37. I really am.
Great tease.
You got to learn to tease.
Hour
me.
ahead of time.
I'll teach you this business. You just pay attention.
Can you do you care about this Kevin Williamson flap at all?
Not really.
You know who he is?
Not really.
Okay. Well, listen to me for one second. Kevin Williamson wrote for National Review. I've had him on this show. He's a wonderful writer. He's written millions of words. He's very informed. He's brilliant. He decided, and I've actually met him. He took me out for breakfast tacos in Dallas.
That's all you got to do to get Bruce on your team.
Just smile at me. You don't even have to buy anything for me. I'm easy. So he decided to go to the Atlantic magazine. He decided not to preach to the choir anymore. The Atlantic is a liberal magazine, but he was going to be the House conservative there. He was going to be among the Gentiles.
How did it work?
Well, he got fired like 3 days after he got the job, because what they did was they found out that he had tweeted once that women who have abortions should be hanged. And then on a podcast, he expounded on that. But they didn't take the totality of his writings. He also has problems with capital punishment. So he really didn't want women to be hanged. But there was this big flap. I mean, there were a number of New York Times articles on this, and in all the intelligent magazines, which I thought you read, cared about this. And it's just about the left's intolerance for any opinion other than their own. They always talk about wanting to be open-minded, but they won't listen to anything else. They won't countenance anybody else's opinion. And here was the Atlantic trying to hire this guy, and they fire him before he barely starts. Well, the New York Magazine just wanted to get a quote from Williamson on his views on abortion, and he said he'll write a full article for them and won't even charge them any money, which is against his policy. Well, we don't want a full article. We just want 1 or 2 lines from you. And he says, I'm not going to do that because then you can distort and misinterpret what I say based on the little soundbite. So they're so intolerant, he wants to give them a free article. They won't even take that. And that's the left for you.
Well, the left, as you rightly call them, they're fascists. They hide behind the word liberal because it is a cloak of virtue that they do not abide by. They're not interested in actual views. They're only only interested in lockstep behavior.
Right.
Because that's what they don't want you to look under the rug, because it's a lie. Everything they talk of is fascism and force.
They don't want argument.
We're the liberal. I'm the liberal.
Me too.
I don't want to force anyone to do anything. Everything, every policy, every agenda has the root of force in it, of the so-called liberal, which means they're fascists. I wish we could stop calling them liberals and call them what they are, fascists, socialist fascists. The only thing they're missing is Hugo Boss suits with the lapel. Yet they want to tie the neo-Nazis into Trump supporters. No. The neo-Nazis are just morons, and they like to find each other. They're a group
Yes,
of morons. You know what I mean?
They are morons. There were good people on both sides, said
Anybody
Trump.
that would voluntarily shave their head. You're an offense to guys who are really bald like our guy Mike Scott here. He doesn't like you faking bald.
Well, that's because he's virile, whereas I have a full head of hair.
To me, he looks
and
like
I'm
Phil
not.
Brenner. He's twice the man you are.
Coming up after the break, we'll hear from Dan and Amy as well. We want to take your calls at 312-642-5600. You don't have to have a brilliant homeless hunk like Phil had. You can talk about anything that you want to. Because it's Open Line Wednesday, as far as I'm concerned. And tomorrow will be Open Line Thursday.
Because he's tired and he
there we
didn't
go.
prep. Come on.
Now let's talk.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicagoland, Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at the HomeLoanExpert.com. It's real simple with Ryan. He's one of us, and he gets it. Ryan, thanks for joining us. Look, the housing market is hot right now, very hot in Chicago, top of the market. What does someone need to do if they're going to buy a house this year?
You know, what a great question, Dan. I appreciate letting me jump on with you, and you're exactly right. The housing market is hot. It's really hot. And if you're even considering buying a house this year, you need to get pre-approved, and you need to be pre-approved by a strong mortgage lender. And I mean that. There's a lot of other lenders. There's a lot of banks out there. But when you get pre-approved by the HomeLoanExpert.com, that pre-approval is like gold. Heck, we even print them on gold paper. They're so valuable. And if you are considering buying a house, know one thing. You're not the only person out there watching the same neighborhoods, the same school districts, waiting for those listings. There's a lot of other people sitting on the sideline. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
Warmer temps are here, spring is in the air, and spring cleaning is too. Elgin Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal, copper, aluminum, brass, and steel. Time to clean out the garage, basement, and junk drawers. Clear it out now and get cash. Contact Elgin Recycling. They've got 4 drop-off locations with truck scales, convenient to I-90. Contractors, ask about on-site weigh and pay services. Get cash now for your scrap metal. Contact Elgin Recycling today at 847-741-4100 or online at elginrecycling.com. Televisions and computers have come a long way this past decade, which leaves behind thousands of old TVs, monitors, electronics, and more. Elgin Recycling does electronic recycling too. They've got services that include TV recycling, collection events, digital data destruction, IT asset management, and more. Contact Elgin Recycling today at 847-741-4100 or online at elginrecycling.com. elginrecycling.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Come on, together, everybody. You love this song.
Sean doesn't sing, Sean doesn't
I'm
dance.
a traveling man. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson. So we're supposed to tease right now, aren't we? Yeah.
Nobody said anything to me.
We're going to talk about Bill Cosby.
And what's with the googly eye? How do you get that googly eye? What's it, pointing north? I don't understand.
Oh, yeah.
The googly eye.
Do I have
said,
an eye
look
that-
at me when I talk to you.
I have an eye that wanders a little bit.
If you did, I'd be making fun of it.
It's good for TV.
Yeah.
People love that stuff. We'll talk about Bill Cosby. And is Kim Jong-un a real nice guy, according to Donald Trump? Very honorable.
Another blessing
according
to the
Trump.
camera.
Let's go to the news lounge and Mike Scott.
Federal judge is ordering the Trump administration to resume accepting new DACA recipients. Talked about that this morning with Bruce and Sean here on AM 560. The Answer. The judge in the case rejected the Trump administration's claim that the Obama-era program protecting immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children is unlawful. He called the Trump decision to end it arbitrary, but opened the door for new arguments in the case. The president himself says the Iran nuclear accord is a bad deal for everyone involved and should never have been negotiated.
I blame Congress. I blame a lot of people for it.
Speaking at a White House news conference with French President Emmanuel Macron yesterday, the president suggested he may pull the U.S. out of that accord next month. Two senators are leaning on the world's biggest banks to reveal their links to wealthy Russians allied with Vladimir Putin. In a letter released yesterday, Democrats Jeanne Shaheen and Sheldon Whitehouse warned the banks that the Russian oligarchs are using their wealth to shield Russia from sanctions. Officials investigating February's deadly Parkland, Florida school shooting. We'll be looking at a lot of video. Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri says video from the school and recorded on student cell phones. It's hard to watch, but it must be done as he chairs the investigation into the reaction to the shooting. Suspect in the shooting of two Dallas police officers is in custody. Police Chief Renee Hall updates the officers' progress after surgery.
All 3 officers are out of surgery. That is the 2 police officers from Dallas and our loss prevention officer from Home Depot. They're out of surgery, and we're asking for your continued prayers.
Hall says a woman who is with the suspect and the suspect were arrested and are in custody. We've told you about that California college professor who insulted former First Lady Barbara Bush shortly after her death. And she was right. She will not be punished. Fresno State University President Joseph Castro saying late last night that although English professor Rhonda Gerard's comments were disgraceful, to him they are protected free speech under the First Amendment, and she will not be punished by the school. This morning, cleanup continues after a massive overnight blaze struck Chicago's Jewelers Row. Illinois' death toll from synthetic marijuana is now 4. The Department of Public Health saying a 4th person, a woman in her 20s from central Illinois, passed away after using the fake pot. And prosecutors in Peoria say a gang dispute was what sparked a deadly shooting near Bradley University earlier this month. Peoria County State's Attorney Jerry Brady's office yesterday announcing an indictment against 16-year-old Jermonte Brock for the April 8 deaths of Anthony Polnitz and Najee Murray. Prosecutors say Brock and Polnitz were rivals in gangs. That's what led to the shooting. Murray was a former CPS honors student and on a pre-med track at Bradley University. Chicago sports, Kyle Schwarber with 2 long bombs. Cubs top the Indians 10-3. Mariners blanked the White Sox at the rate 1-0. The news, a service of Rogers & Holland's Jewelers. Hey, listeners, consider this your official reminder. Mother's Day is May 13th, and Rogers & Holland's Diamond Sale is going on right now. Shop in-store and online for 30% off all diamond jewelry at Rogers & Holland's, Chicago's family-owned jewelry store for over 100 years. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains the left's mind.
How do they reconcile their self-image as intellectually open with their practice of intellectually being closed? They really believe that there is no other way to approach life than a left-wing way. So you are not being intellectually closed by not allowing a conservative to speak.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee. The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are 2 lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
It is 6:37. Let's get an update on the roads now in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. I-57 inbound traffic is jammed. From the Calsag Channel to Ryan, there was an earlier crash at Holstead. It's 45 minutes from I-80 to the Verge. Station 4, 36 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. And the Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Eden's 24 minutes, Lake Cook to the Junction, outbound 19. Kennedy, 30 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 25. Got Eisenhower jammed, Wolf to Harlem. It's also heavy Kedzie to Ashland. It is 58 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 31. Stevenson, 52 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 34 minutes. About tri-state delays are from Harlem to 87th, from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Traffic service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Breezy and cooler with times of clouds and sun today and a high of 54. Currently, we have 43 degrees. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Less cowbell. Less cowbell. Yeah, there you go. Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson, in for Dan and Amy.
Listen, leave the kid alone. I just got a whole lecture how I can't make fun of his midriff, the whole 9 yards. So just leave him alone, will you?
Hey, I don't know how we got talking about the homeless, but that's what the people want to talk about. Give us a call at 312-642-5600. How did we start talking about
Because that's where the policies lead of both the Democrats and the Republicans. We just pretend it doesn't.
Lewis from Chicago, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, I just wanted to say that I think we better hunker down. I think there's going to be a perfect storm coming up. We have a bunch of homeless tents coming up, and with our gun laws the way they are, I feel that we should brace ourselves.
What are you worried about? I always wanted to be in Mad Max. I love it.
Thank you, Lewis.
Look at that guy with the hockey mask on.
Again, if you come across a homeless person, give him a couple of dollars so that they can buy some booze and self-medicate.
I say like Quinn, or the guy who answers our phone, said, give him a can opener and tell him he'll thank me later. I like it.
So I did promise that we would mention Bill Cosby briefly. I was trying to figure out just by reading an article about him whether he's guilty or not. Because it's going to the jury today, the Cosby case. He's 80 years old. He's 80.
I just want to know what's wrong with his eye, number one. Number two, 80.
He's blind. He's legally blind right now.
Well, that explains why it's bouncing around in his head. Number two, 80 is spry compared to the guy from DC Comics. Who's 95?
Stan Lee.
Stan, just rub it, Lee.
Stan Lee, apparently. See, when you make these references, I feel the compulsion to explain them to everybody because not everybody is up on these things as you are. But Stan Lee, apparently, allegedly, he was in a Chicago hotel, the Hyatt Regency, and a massage therapist there supposedly was assaulted by
allegedly.
Stan Lee. That he grabbed her hand and placed it on his
I
on
was
Spidey's web producing organs. Yes.
I was watching this story with my wife, yesterday, and she right away everybody's like, she's just like scumbags, and all of a sudden you're lumped in with the Stan Lee crowd, like every man,
right.
This is the
like
thing.
You could write the Marvel
First of
comics.
All, here's the other thing. I don't like the story. I like to look at the story a little bit. So allegedly that happens. Then day 2. What do you mean day 2?
Well, then she was brought back, this massage therapist, and then he did it again. Now, the question is, why did she come back?
And then here's the other thing.
Well, because she was ordered to.
In the story, given to us by Ellison Rosati, not a friend of HD, in the story,
she's a friend of mine.
I don't care. In the story, all of a sudden, she does it with that. Now she changes to feet to add distance. This is the excuse.
The woman massage therapist used her feet so that the guy couldn't grab her hands.
I don't like the whole thing.
Anyway, it's back to Bill Cosby here. I'm trying to figure out whether he's innocent or not. The defense is trying to portray his accuser as a pathological liar. And it's saying that, they were having some kind of affair, but Cosby says he gave this woman 1.5 tablets of the over-the-counter cold and allergy medicine Benadryl. Because she needed to relax before a consensual encounter, and that he had paid her $3.4 million over a decade ago just to get rid of the problem, but nothing untoward had actually happened. There are like 5 women who are testifying against Cosby in this, but this guy got Michael Jackson off, legally, before. So wouldn't that be something if Bill Cosby is found not guilty? That would really throw a monkey wrench into the Me Too movement. If you can't find Bill Cosby guilty.
I don't know why Robitussin isn't being sued. It's open up daycare centers. They're giving. This stuff is like what's going on with Robitussin?
Oh, I can't believe.
Yet they're a cough. Everybody's got a cough. It doesn't do what it said.
So did you see Hillary Clinton?
No.
There's this book by this New York Times reporter, Amy Chozick, who was embedded in the Hillary campaign, and she may as well be in bed with Hillary. She's such a sycophant toward Hillary. No, she
There's
loves
already
Hillary.
a lot of people in there. Not to mention, maybe she just carries her yoga mat. What happened to the girl who perfected the walking dog?
But this reporter just totally loves Hillary. So much for objectivity from reporters, it's thrown out the window. However, their love is not returned because Hillary cannot stand the press. She can't stand anybody. She hated campaigning. She's out, on the campaign trail, and her attitude is like, why the heck do I? And heck is
campaigning takes
a
movement.
sanitized word that I'm using. Why the heck do I have to pretend like I'm enjoying being among these people? Why the heck am I back in this state, like Iowa? She wanted to become the president of the United States, our national school marm, but she didn't actually want to talk to anybody. She had to pretend to be human.
Well, 2 things happen when you campaign. Number 1, you have to move. And if you've noticed, every time she moves, she ends up with a cast somewhere. So moving, not Hillary Clinton's friend. Number 2, you have to interact with actual human beings. Also, not a friend to Hillary Clinton.
I'm sorry that Hillary didn't become president because we're losing here. These are just the last bits of fumes that we're going to get from Hillary. We're not going to hear from her again. And had she been president, we would be pillorying Hillary all the time. It basically put Kate McKinnon of Saturday Night Live out of business. She's reduced to doing Jeff Sessions impersonations right now. But Kate McKinnon's impersonation of Hillary was fantastic because Kate McKinnon was trying to imitate a woman who was trying to imitate being a woman, which is really meta.
So
I love that.
She's imitating Hillary and not the Republicans in Congress because they have the same exact fiscal policy Hillary Clinton had.
Oh, let's not talk about policies.
I want to get in the weeds here. I'm the boss.
Yes.
Why doesn't anyone talk about it? No one talks about it.
This isn't a real person. This is not a human being.
I think there is. And
Hillary
I think she's got one of those swinger marriages. I like it.
So, anyway.
Where's Huma?
Huma is...
yeah, she's worried about her husband in prison, right? Yeah, sure she is.
I loved Huma and Cheryl Mills and all these people who were not even touched by Jim Comey.
Where's my
Department
robe,
of
Huma?
Justice.
Where's
Nobody
the robe?
touched them. All right, we're wandering off the reservation. Let's get back on it and talk about Elizabeth Warren after the break right here.
Baby.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy on AM 560 The Answer.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Not me, Bruce. My ancestors, cowboys. Today, breezy and cooler with times of clouds and sun, high 54. Tonight, clear and chilly, down to 36. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high 65. Tomorrow night, low 41. Now, Jim Telemonte, when can the guys bring out their motorcycles and where can they not get in a traffic jam?
Well, the Chicago Skyway's wide open, Sean. That's always a good bet, but it's pretty expensive. Inbound Eisenhower, though, has big jams from Wolf to the Burns Circle. No crashes, just bad traffic. It's an hour and 7 minutes from 390 to downtown. 53 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 35 minutes to 390. Eden's 26 minutes, Lake Cook to the Junction. Outbound 22. Kennedy gotten heavier in a hurry. It's 45 minutes O'Hare to downtown, a little quicker in the Express. Outbound 25 minutes to the airport. Stevenson getting heavier as well. Now an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 50 minutes from the Tri-State. About 38 minutes to 355. Ryan, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57. The jam starts at the Calsag Channel. It's 40 minutes, I-80 to the Verge. There was an earlier crash near Holstead. Bishop Ford, 36 minutes, 80-94 to the Rhine. The northbound Tri-State delays are from 111th to 87th. LaGrange Road to the Hinsdale Oasis. From the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I'm Lou Dobbs. President Trump sees some progress in the trade talks with China and some progress as well in resolving differences over NAFTA. Those stories next.
Hey, this is Ricky from Banyan Hill. I want to get a few things straight. First off, I like freedom. Second, I like money. Fact is, I like freedom and money, which is why I love Freedom Checks, a unique investment that can secure your retirement income without being tied down to the government. And while I'm no genius, I am smart enough to follow an expert like Matt, who showed me how anyone has the chance to stake their claim on an estimated $34.6 billion payout. To get all the details from Matt, just go to myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri, who's set to get a check for $24,075. Now, how much your check is depends on how much you put behind Matt's insights, but the potential here is undeniable. Of course, if you want the chance to grab your full fair share of this $34.6 billion, you must have your ducks in a row ASAP. So don't wait. Go see Matt at myfreedomchecks.com. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
President Trump indicating yesterday the United States and China are likely to sit down to negotiate new trade agreements within the next few days. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin will be on his way to China to help resolve any remaining trade disputes between the U.S. and China. The president also predicting negotiations for a new NAFTA deal could also be completed quickly. Trade ministers from Canada and Mexico have been meeting with Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer, hoping to complete a deal before Mexico's upcoming presidential elections. Audi is recalling more than 390,000 cars and SUVs here in the United States and Canada because the electric coolant pumps can overheat and cause fires. The recall covers 2013 through 2017 models. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Hey everyone, Ken here from the award-winning company Income Store. If you were lost and scared in a forest, would you rather have a guide map or a guide standing next to you? Both will lead you out of the forest, one's just a bit more expeditious. When it comes to making more money, have you ever felt lost? Does it drive you a little batty when you know there's people out there, teenagers even, that are adding a different revenue stream, even in different industries, each and every year of their lives? Don't you know deep down there has to be a path out of what we call the financial forest? You know it's there, you just haven't found it yet. For almost a decade now, Income Store has provided guide maps to the do-it-yourselfers, the folks that have considerably more time than money, but they've also been the trusted guide to those with more money than time. If you're ready to stop bouncing around this thing we call the financial forest and serious about adding a second, third, or even fourth revenue model to your home or business, then you have to check out the 5-timing 5,000 Income Store. That's incomestore.com.
Deb, I'm so done with today. Traffic was awful. I couldn't stop for coffee. I have conference calls all morning, plus all these reports to go through. And look, it's 75 and sunny, and I'm stuck in here.
Relax. It's going to be an awesome day. Corporate is throwing a picnic in the parking lot for lunch, and they ordered tasty catering.
What? Did I miss the memo?
Apparently. It's going to be great. They got burgers, grilled chicken, sides, the works. You know, Tasty Catering's picnic food is excellent.
Oh, yeah, I know. We had them for our holiday party.
Today, they're bringing out the Make-Your-Own Burger Creation Station. They have everything you can think of, like sriracha, blue cheese crumbles, bacon, sautéed mushrooms, and caramelized onions. And they serve it straight off the grill, the way a great burger should be.
Okay, maybe there's still hope for today. I just hope I don't spill mustard on this new tie. Good thing I've got my bib.
You have a bib?
You don't?
Tasty Catering's picnic menu has all the delicious summertime food favorites you crave and more. Go to tastycatering.com to peruse mouth-watering picnic menus and start planning your picnic today. tastycatering.com.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Passports to Paradise at Secrets Maroma Beach Resort in Riviera Maya, Mexico. Thank you to our sponsors, Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, Joe Cotton Ford, Open Tax Resolution, the law offices of Stephen Leahy. And our next guest is a particular favorite of our guest hosts, Sean and Bruce, and of ours.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, my favorite part of the trip so far, one of my favorite parts, is when one of our listeners found out that this is Ann B. Davis's bowling ball. I mean, he freaked out and just went, wait. And it was like he saw a star. He was shocked that this great mind was sitting right next to him.
In the Twitterverse, there's Ann B. Davis's bowling ball and Diamond and Silk.
And there's nobody else.
They're driving.
Are you also Archie Bunker's chair and Dan Proft's beard?
I am not.
Yeah, he's just spawned. He spawned copycats. That's
did.
what great artists do. And are you sad that you're down here and you can't listen to Bruce and Sean fill in for us?
Very sad. I miss both of you.
So how did you come up with Ann B. Davis's bowling ball as your Twitter handle?
I don't know if that's suitable for air.
Come over here, get closer, because you're moving around a lot. We can't hear you.
It stems from fantasy football team names and just trying to be more offensive than the next person in the league. And it was originally Ann B. Davis's body part, which I won't say. And
the wig, maybe, or the apron?
Yeah.
Sure is the apron.
I don't think Sam the Butcher would appreciate those kind of references to Ann B. Davis.
Wait, what body part was it?
Well, are you serious?
No, I mean,
would you come on? Oh.
Okay. So, her elbow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm bad.
And
Sorry.
I just thought the bowling ball would be more suitable for air. So,
now you go incognito because you're just known as Ann B. Davis's bowling ball. But do you ever, worry in this day and age you get at your place of employment that you get any heat for anything you tweet?
No.
Okay, well that's good. That's
do
good.
Do they know that?
Do they know you're Ann B. Davis's bowling ball?
No. That's why I'm not worried.
There you go.
Well, thanks. Why'd you come back on the trip again? To spend more time with Dan?
Yes.
Yes, not my wife, with Dan. So
yeah.
Not with my wife, but with Dan. Yes.
And I don't know. Like, I wanted to ask you about your life, but I'm afraid to offer too much information because then they could triangulate you.
And dox me. Yeah.
Exactly. But you live in you live in the.
I live in West Suburbs.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got kids, and so what's it like living in Illinois? Are you guys in here for the long haul?
We're actually looking. We have an exit plan in place, and heading to heading to Colorado, and hopefully next summer. So.
To check it out, or to move permanently? Really?
Yeah.
Where in
Great,
Colorado?
Dan, you're getting our listeners. You're moving us out.
I was thinking Colorado Springs, so I'm interested because this is what everybody talks about in Illinois, where you're moving. So.
Yeah, the Denver area. We need to go out there and scout places once it gets a little closer. So.
Great. All right. Well, it's going to
now
be
I'm
interesting.
Sad.
In future trips here, it's going to be just us flying out to meet everybody else from AM 560 that's living in other states in the country. Right.
So when you construct your tweets, real quick, before we let you go
on.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
The construction, the authorization of this tweet. Is it a knee-jerk reaction, or do you have to think about it? Do you plan this?
I love the show because doing the tweets is like the caption contest for the New Yorker magazine.
Yeah, really, yeah.
So it's
that's
just
a good
exercising the mind and coming up with something that's quirky or witty and snarky and on the spot. So
that's a good comparison. I like that.
All right.
That's why he's Ann B. Davis's bowling ball. He comes up with
and
these
we
pithy comparisons.
So happy you and your beautiful wife are here again with us in Secrets, Maroma Beach.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
You know, it's not too late to service your furnace or too early for your AC. And the company you know you can depend on is the original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling. They're not one of those massive impersonal companies with inexperienced technicians and subcontractors. Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling sends only their own highly skilled technicians. From service to installation and everything in between, their work quality and customer service is the best. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling keeps homes and businesses comfy and warm. Call Carrie at 847-545-1700 or visit ArlingtonHeightsHeatingandCooling.com. Mention AM 560 and receive 20% off your first service call. That's Carrie at 847-545-1700 or online at ArlingtonHeightsHeatingandCooling.com. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, not the biggest, just the best.
A glass of wine on the patio at day's end. Laughter from your teens and their friends gathered around the crackling fire of your new fire pit. This is the private oasis that AM Woodland Outdoor Design can create for you. Your outdoor space should be a reflection of your family's personality and a true extension of your home, not just a place to set your grill and furniture. A well-designed and constructed outdoor space can add significant value to your home and bring endless days of enjoyment. Spend more time together as a family, entertain friends, or just have a personal sanctuary to relax and de-stress. The expert team at AM Woodland Outdoor Design will guide you through every step of the process. They provide quality service with the utmost integrity and reliability every time.
AM Woodland Outdoor Design, proudly serving Lake, Cook, and Kenosha counties, helping make the communities they grew up in as beautiful as they can be. Visit amwoodland.com. That's amwoodland.com or call 847-224-2167.
There's a place where you can get custom metal products. If you manage a commercial kitchen, hotel, condo building, or food-grade manufacturing plant, then no matter the type of metal or size of the project, the skillfully trained fabrication team at Vans Industrial has you covered.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Custom metal fabrication is the backbone of my company. We fabricate stainless steel countertops, wall coverings, hoods, landscape planter boxes, industrial fan housings, and more. Vans Industrial uses all types of alloys like carbon steel, aluminum, brass, and polished stainless steel. And we have a laser cutting machine. Our laser can customize almost any project. Our team can design, fabricate, and install your project today.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. That's 833-VANS-IND. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Vans Industrial, customizing for you, the customer.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up next hour, Stephen Moore, former Trump advisor, will be quizzed by us on whether he still believes in David Ricardo's theory of comparative advantage, right,
It's going to be
Sean?
Stephen Moore arguing with Stephen Moore. It's going to be fun.
Right, because he is schizophrenic on the whole topic. We should get Kudlow in here with him.
Oh, I'd love
That's all coming up next hour. Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Now let's go to the newsroom.
Search ends for a man who ran from an arrest yesterday. Kyle Schwarber and the Cubs hammer the Indians. Mariners blank the White Sox. A breezy and cooler day. A sunny start, though. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
The doctor is in the waiting room. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. White House Dr. Ronnie Jackson still wants to be the next Veterans Affairs Secretary amid questions that put today's Senate hearing on hold.
I'm looking forward to rescheduling the hearing and answering everyone's questions.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland's live in Washington.
Dave, the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee postponed the hearing indefinitely after allegations surfaced that the White House physician drank on the job and overprescribed pills. At a news conference yesterday, President Trump said he's standing by Dr. Jackson.
He's an admiral. He's a great leader. And they question him about every little thing.
There are also concerns about Dr. Jackson's lack of high-level management experience. In a statement, the White House said Dr. Jackson is being railroaded by false accusations. Dave?
Rachel, a third judge has ruled against President Trump on DACA.
A federal judge Tuesday ruling that the Trump administration must keep protections for illegal immigrants brought to the country as children in place, and that the government must resume accepting new DACA applications. In his ruling, Judge John Bates says the government based its decision on, quote, meager legal reasoning.
Fox's Sean Langell. The judge did delay his decision 90 days to let the administration better explain getting rid of the Obama-era DACA program. Last night, President Trump treated France's president to a state dinner.
God bless you. God bless France. God bless our alliance. And God bless America.
Later this morning, Emmanuel Macron will address a joint meeting of Congress. The president has just tweeted congratulations to Debbie Lesko, who won a special election in Arizona to take over a vacant seat in Congress, keeping it Republican red. They're playing ball. Republicans back on a Virginia field this morning, practicing for the congressional baseball game for the first time since last year's shooting.
And as you walk around the field here this morning, there's a lot of Capitol Police out here. I should note that Steve Scalise, the majority whip, is not going to be here. He had another procedure last week and is still recovering from surgery.
Well, that's Fox's Chad Pergram in Alexandria. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
43 degrees. We have sunny skies right now. Winds north at 14 at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. One firefighter hospitalized after an overnight blaze in the Loop. Crews responded to the blaze, a fire that broke out at a Jewelers Row building on South Wabash at around 1:30. Fire was raised to a 311 alarm around 3 a.m., then brought under control about a half an hour later. 2 had to be rescued from an upper floor by fire department ladders. An Illinois Department of Corrections parolee who escaped custody has been captured. Keir Mormon reportedly resisted arrest in the South Shore neighborhood and fled, sparking an all-day search Tuesday. He was apprehended without incident in Glenview. One person is dead following a shooting on the west side. Happened around 10 p.m. on West Chicago Avenue in the city's Austin neighborhood, according to Chicago police. A rhinoceros at the Brookfield Zoo has undergone what's believed to be the first CT scan performed on the species. No easy task. Layla is 7.5 years old, but 2,300 pounds. Zoo officials say the scan was needed to diagnose an obstruction in Layla's nasal passageway that made it difficult for her to breathe. The images did find abnormal tissue, and the zoo says Layla is resting comfortably with surgery planned. A sailor arrested here in Illinois yesterday on charges that he swiped 20 hand grenades from a San Diego-based naval destroyer. Gunner's mate second-class Aaron Booker of Waukegan was taken into custody in Great Lakes by U.S. Navy criminal investigators and is expected to be returned to California. If convicted of possessing stolen explosives, Booker, the man who NCIS believes stole the concussion grenades, Aaron Booker, could face 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Cubs top the Indians 10-3. Mariners blanked the White Sox 1-0 at Guaranteed Rate Field. The news service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 7:04, we have a check of traffic and weather coming up next on AM 560.
Larry Elder explains who is delivering your news.
Jake Tapper used to be the press secretary for a Democrat. Chuck Todd also worked for a Democrat, congressional Democrat. There he is.
Meet the press. News anchor.
There he is, Jake Tapper, CNN.
The lead news anchor.
There is George Stephanopoulos, former top advisor to Bill Clinton.
Chief news anchor, ABC News.
It is a joke.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Buying a new tractor? You owe it to yourself to visit your LS Tractor dealer. LS Tractors give you a lot more tractor for less money compared to other brands. For starters, LS Tractor comes with more select features as standard equipment. They make operating your tractor easier with better performance to get more work done quicker. Compare and you'll know who gives you more tractor for your money. LS Tractor. Excel in your field. Learn more at lstractorusa.com.
Visit Abbey Equipment in Streeter and get more tractor.
I'm having that 6:59 feeling again.
What?
You know, that mini panic attack right before the workday starts when you're sure you've forgotten something?
Nope, that's my favorite time of day. I work with Cintas, so I always know we're ready for the workday. They handle our uniforms, fire extinguishers, first aid, safety training, floor mats, and restroom supplies.
I think I need to call Cintas.
They might just make a morning person out of you.
Oh, I'm ready! Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
Stuck in an expensive timeshare contract and feel like there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO of Wesley Financial Group. I've helped thousands of people get rid of their timeshares.
I didn't realize what I was getting into. The whole thing was just a scam. I finally found information on Chuck, and he agreed to meet us. It was just a wonderful experience because he knows that business inside out, and he actually wanted to solve our problem.
I fought the largest timeshare company in federal court, and yes, I won. Whether you owe $10,000 to $250,000 on your timeshare, we can help cancel your mortgage. When you're approved as a client, I guarantee you a 100% success rate. We'll get you out of your timeshare, eliminate your payments, and get them off of your back permanently. And we proudly hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Call Wesley Financial Group now for your free consultation at 800-786-9300. That's 800-786-9300. 800-786-9300.
It is 7:07. Let's get an update on the roads now in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's outbound at Oakton. Crash on the shoulder. It's 33 minutes. Montrose to Lake Cook inbound 26 minutes. Also heavy on the eastbound spur starting at Waukegan Road. Kennedy 45 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 22 from Montrose. 17 in the express. Outbound 35 minutes to the airport. Eisenhower an hour and 7 minutes. 390 to downtown. 53 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 35 minutes to 390. Stevenson an hour and 2 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 40 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 45. Northbound Tri-State delays, 111th to 87th. The Stevenson to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge, northbound Veterans Memorial heavy, 63rd to the Reagan Tollway. Traffic service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today breezy and cool with clouds and sun, high 54. Tonight clear and chilly, low 36. Tomorrow partly sunny, high 65. And at night partly cloudy, low 41. Some sun for Friday, high around 60. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Sunshine and 43 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7:30 with Dan and Amy in Mexico. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico with the listeners. And Sean, we got a tweet from Matt Snorek.
More pruning of the audience?
For me, this is too much arguing, yelling, and intensity for 6 to 7 a.m. It's like sort of like waking up to someone throwing a cup of cold water at your face. So
that's called morning at my house.
Well,
so get up.
I am suggesting that let's try to go NPR on everybody. Let's just start talking like
you
this.
You got the wrong co-host.
Yeah, why don't we just get a little mellow?
This is how
Light
I
up
sleep.
A cigarette right now, maybe a Pall Mall or a Salem. Take a puff and it's springtime. Yeah, light up that cigar. You're wearing the cigar. You're wearing the cigar. You're smoking the cigar. I'm wearing my Amy Jacobson bikini top from the Craig Stebeck line.
Yes.
Yeah. And let's go to Holly from Hudson right now.
So wrong.
Good morning, Holly. How are you doing this morning, Holly?
Good morning, boys. I have to tell you, do you remember when you were in high school and you'd walk into your classroom and a substitute teacher would be there and you'd be like, yes, we're not going to learn nothing today. This is awesome. This is the week. This is like the AM 560 week of learning nothing, and it's all fun and games. And
hold on a second.
We got substance, baby.
I'm insulted, Holly.
Well, there's no revolt or bolt. I don't have to be memorizing these home pricing, taxing statistics about Henry County. I mean,
I could do it if you want. You want me to do it?
Wait a minute. This is a pop quiz right now. What is the tax rate in Romeoville? If you listen to this show carefully, you would know that.
See, that's why it's so great that you're not there.
All right, let me ask you this.
Is on break for a week.
No, but let me ask you this. Of course, you're insulting me. Absolutely, because when I teased before that we're going to have Stephen Moore on, the former Trump advisor, and I said that we're going to test him on whether he still believes in David Ricardo's theory of comparative advantage.
No. Here's you play the Stephen Moore.
Isn't that as
you have to play the Stephen Moore drinking game. See, I can interrupt Bruce just like you interrupt.
Apparently,
Sean.
you can. Go ahead, Holly.
Here's the Stephen Moore drinking game. How many times will he say he was on the Trump council or whatever?
Yeah.
He is the biggest name dropper guy.
Kudlow was his best man.
Kudlow was in his wedding. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
See how many names he dropped.
Holly,
okay, here's why I'm calling.
Wait. Before you tell me why you're calling, I'm going to tell you why I'm answering your call. And the reason I'm answering your call is because I want to tell you that I bet you I'll be able to make Stephen Moore laugh within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That
That's
he gets on.
Bruce, I have bad news. Everyone makes Steve Moore laugh.
All right,
you
thanks a
hear
lot.
that fake cackle that he comes up with?
Have you
the
deflated
whole
me
hour?
enough, Holly? I mean, you're a heckler, Holly. Holly Heckler from
listen.
Hudson. So
No, I want to say, listening to Amby Davis's bowling ball, any listener of the show who is not on Twitter misses the
Right.
best part of the show.
I love
So
Amby
much
Davis's
goes on.
bowling ball. Let me set up your comment because I believe you called for this reason. We were talking about Hillary Clinton and how Amy Chozik's new book. She was embedded or in bed with Hillary because she was such a sycophant to Hillary, a New York Times reporter. You think they're objective? They're not at all. They loved Hillary, but the love was not returned. Hillary could not stand the idea of having to campaign. She felt that she was anointed, having to live with Bill for her entire life. You think she probably did deserve to be the president of the United States, but she can't stand people. She's a misanthrope, as Kyle Smith says in National Review today. Did you want to lend something to that conversation, Holly, or were you just here to insult
Well,
me?
I actually did. And
Okay.
my new name for Hillary is Blamery. I was a never Hillary. I would have voted for anyone but Hillary Clinton. I am not so much a pro-Trump as I am anti-Hillary. I'm thrilled every day that Blamery is not in the White House. But in that book that you referenced, there's a passage where at a boardroom table they discussed whether or not she should be seen eating chicken wings. They also spent 12 man-hours on one tweet.
People hours, you sexist pig, Holly. But they had to craft things because they had to decide, how good a joke was. I mean, as if she was the marvelous Mrs. Maisel crafting a joke, to be Lenny Bruce's opening act. It's Hillary Clinton for crying out loud. Yeah, it was pathetic. Totally
Keep up the
pathetic.
good work, boys.
Thank you,
are rocking
Holly.
it. And everybody should follow everybody on Twitter. There's an AM 560 group on Twitter that is really.
It's like the Shadow Show. Thanks so much,
is.
Holly. Appreciate it.
Well,
I love you guys.
Thank you.
Listen,
we love you
things
too.
never to be mentioned in the sentence with Hillary Clinton, in bed with, naked volleyball, or bathroom. Never mention these in the same sentence as Hillary Clinton.
I got a text from my wife who agrees with the tweet that we were arguing too much between 6 and 7 a.m. That to me was the most fun.
I agree with you. And that's what, listen.
But my wife told me, so I say we start going in.
Listen, she can't take half of my assets. I don't care what she says. You can't bow down or dumb down the show because people don't like the intellectual tension of it. It's the point of ignorance is bliss that
Let's
got
just
us
try
here.
to modify the tone a little bit here. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about Donald Trump calling Kim Jong-un an honorable man. And to me, Sean, I think you would agree with me, concur with me, that basically Trump was just channeling his inner Mark Antony from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar in the eulogy for Julius Caesar. When Antony says that Brutus is an honorable man, and it is such a populist demagogic thing for him to do, because what happens is that the crowd is whipped into a frenzy to attack Brutus. And that's what Trump is doing.
Or it's to my point that
is
a
that
salesman,
NPR enough for you?
Or it's to my point that a salesman exactly. A salesman will say anything in order to get your confidence.
Exactly.
There you
Let's
go.
take a check of the traffic and the weather, but don't yell it.
I'm yelling.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
All right. You want to sleep in? Wait till Saturday. Today, breezy and cooler with times of clouds and sun, high 54. Tonight, clear and chilly, down to 36. Tomorrow, it's going to be really the nicest day in the next 4, up to 65. So you can go golfing, Bruce, and no excuses. Now, Jim Telemonte. How's Bruce? He really doesn't have to travel during the actual travel time because he hasn't had a job since Reagan could do a crossword puzzle. So it really doesn't apply to him. But tell the other people how it is out there.
That's pretty messy, Sean. And Bruce, good morning. Kennedy inbound. It's heavy from Cumberland to the Burn Circle now. An hour and 2 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 32 minutes from Montrose. 27 on the Express. Outbound 45 minutes downtown to the airport. Eden's 25 minutes Lake Cook to the junction. But outbound 33. There's a crash at Oakton on the shoulder. Eisenhower, an hour and 7 minutes, 390 to downtown. 53 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 38 minutes to 390. Stevenson, now an hour and 9 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Northbound Tri-State delays, 111th to 87th. From the Stevenson to 31st, the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound Veterans Memorial slows 75th to the Reagan Tollway. Northwest Indiana's fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Spring is here. It's Amy Jacobson, and I suggest you add this to your spring cleaning. Throw out that old flat pillow and buy your very own new MyPillow. Not only will it keep its shape and adjust your ideal sleeping position, but you can wash and dry it whenever you want. And yes, the best MyPillow 4-pack deal is still available. Go online or call now to take advantage of this great deal. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the MyPillow 4-pack deal with 2 premium MyPillows and my favorite, those 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. Start spring out right. No more headaches or stiff neck with your hypoallergenic Made in America MyPillow with its 10-year warranty plus that 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the MyPillow 4-pack today. Call 800-489-0201, use the promo code Amy, or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back. And it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me. And I recommend it to everybody.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Gentlemen, when it comes to your daily health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. Hi, Dan Proft here. I personally recommend choosing my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested. These guys are great. They make it quick and easy. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy, cause lack of motivation and drive. It can raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain, and loss of muscle mass. If you've been experiencing any of these symptoms, it's time to get your levels checked. At Low T Center, they accept most health insurance and will even verify it for you. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low T in men. It's been their specialty for many years. They know men's health, and they're reinventing men's health care. When it comes to your health and daily quality of life, do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Proft sent you. The number 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com for more information. That website again, lowtcenter.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf, Sean Thompson, in for Dan and Amy, and I promised the aforesaid soundbite from Donald Trump because I feel like we have to at least, in a titular sense, have.
Ooh, easy now. I got told no swearing.
Well, it's funny because I'm actually hinting at the next story I really want to do, but first I've got to have a veneer of responsibility. So let's listen to Donald Trump talking about Kim Jong-un.
He really has been very open. And I think very honorable from everything we're seeing.
No, that's ridiculous.
It's like season 3 of Sneaky Pete.
Yeah. And like I say, it is like Mark Antony calling Brutus very honorable. Trump, he uses this stuff, he just tosses stuff out there in the next minute or the minute before he called him a tyrant. So nobody should put that much stock in what Trump says. It's all negotiating, right?
It's why the car salesman says your wife is pretty.
Let's go to the story that I really wanted to get to. A confession here. So Dan and I did a show together for several years.
No, you didn't.
One time we do this story that we read, I think it came from the Daily Mail in Great Britain, and I should have realized the source. The story was about, there was a study that in lieu of exercise, if you just stared at a woman's chest at work for 20 minutes, that would be the same value.
Was it written by Chris Christie?
So the thing is that we bought it hook, line, and sinker, and then we realized it was from the Daily Mail. Well, I think I'm going to repeat the same error right now because there is a story in the New York Post today. Now that's a legitimate. John Podhoretz writes for the New York Post.
Oh, well,
it's the New York Post. Now they took it from the Sun, which is from Great Britain, but they printed it. And in this story, it says that according to a study in 2012 from the Archives of Internal Medicine, if a man looks at a woman's breasts, excuse me, I'm stuttering it, at the office, it will, or anywhere.
Lead to a check writing scandal?
It will not only lead to that, but it will increase his longevity, and other things. But it will it will lengthen his life.
Bill Cosby subscribes to that, too.
I mean, this is a story in the New York Post today. I didn't make this up. Also says men should have lots of sex. They should be responsible. They should have lots of kids or kids. And they should also get a dad bod because women are attracted to a dad bod. So stop working out.
I don't know. Yeah, well, listen, I'm on the chopping block. Every time I come on the radio station, my wife wants to hit me with divorce papers. So I'm just prepared in case she does and I have to hit the circuit again.
I would not have mentioned this story, but for the fact that it's in a semi-reputable newspaper, the New York Post. It's not as lofty as the New York Times, but it is
It's just a bunch of old men making excuses for their love handles. That's what that story is.
Do women like dad bods? Because I can't stand the fact that I have one.
Only the ones that resemble Jan Schakowsky.
So who wears the pants in the Schakowsky family? Is it Jan
or Creamy Bob?
Well, the husband, who give him his kudos here,
gets away with
he's
all
an
kinds
operative.
Of stuff. Yeah.
He winds up bringing allegedly anyway these demonstrators from out of town to disrupt the Donald Trump appearance at the UIC during the election campaign.
Paid for protests.
Do you remember that? All the TV stations covered it, wall to wall, live coverage of these demonstrators. And then we find out, thanks to, I believe, Project Veritas, I think it was James O'Keefe who did this undercover, that these people were brought they were literally outside agitators. And how much did the local TV stations cover that aspect of the story? Did they cover it at all?
Well, there's two things. They're cheaper than union members, right?
Right.
Same kind of thing. And number two, what's the repercussion? So what? So what did he do? He broke a couple of campaign laws. And what's the penalty in Illinois? Nothing. And you know that Scarecrow.
Well, he gets to visit the White House. Wasn't he in the White House like 47 times?
Sure, he was. And the Scarecrow Mrs. will be a congresswoman until she doesn't want to be anymore. That's the penalty. It's a joke. The whole state's a joke.
So let us listen right now to President Trump in a bad optic moment, apparently, brushing the dandruff off President Macron.
Mr. President, they're all saying what a great relationship we have, and they're actually correct. It's not fake news. Finally, it's not fake news. So it's a great honor that you're here. But we do have a very special relationship. In fact, I'll get that little piece of dandruff. We have to make him perfect. He is perfect.
Oh.
So it is really, great to be with you, and you're a special friend.
I thought that was at worst boorish on the part of President Trump, but it wasn't what the left is turning it out to be. Like, this is a moment. Somebody even quoted Jane Goodall. Remember, she dealt with the chimpanzees. She says, when the aging gorilla is confronted with a much more virile new alpha male, he shows submissiveness by grooming the alpha male, but the gesture is actually a vain attempt by the old gorilla to humiliate his much younger rival. Translation: Trump is an old gorilla. But Macron, as you and I have both pointed out, married his mother. Is that found in the chimpanzee world?
To me, it's just like watching, the movie Sting 2. These are two con men that'll say anything they want. I love you. And the minute he gets back on the plane, it's going to be slander. He's going to be making fun of him. Trump will be making fun of the French guy. Just give it a week. Give it a week and everything will change.
Now, nothing happened at the state dinner, did it?
Sure. Kissinger made it to dessert before he fell asleep in his soup. These are the same buffoons.
Is Kissinger still date Jill St. John now that they're both octogenarians?
We're still doing his policies, so he must be relevant.
Tom from Deer Park, good morning.
Hey, good morning, gents. You were just talking about Kramer and how he does the rent-a-protester, and I was wondering, if you have any idea, when R. Kelly had his trial and it was a school day and they bust a bunch of school children out there
I forgot
not
that.
to protest, but for his benefit. I don't know if you guys recall that. Could that have been the same guy?
I'm just wondering. I mean, does it look like his MO, is his imprint there? Possibly, Tom. I appreciate the call.
I made fun. I made fun of it, but it's absolutely true. What is the difference? And I mean this, and I think, first of all, I think Creamy Bob is a scumbag and should be
Jan Schakowsky's husband,
and should
we're
be
talking
thrown in
about,
prison
yes.
because he's breaking all kinds of campaign laws. But when you really think about it, what's the difference between that and a union head saying go out and march with the Chicago Public School Teachers Union? What's the difference? It's paid for protests.
Didn't you love the deconstruction of the protesters after the Parkland massacre? When they said there were like 800,000 people there in Washington, it turned out there were really only 200,000. And then this guy did this study and showed that most of the people who were protesting were not first-time protesters. They were just, I wouldn't say professional protesters, but they were protesting against Trump. They always are protesting, and their average age was 49. So it wasn't the kids who were doing it. So it was a complete misrepresentation of the demographics of the protesters.
Now name a Sunday news host who hasn't worked for a Democrat politician.
Chris Wallace.
Yeah. Right.
Yay, I win.
Yeah.
Coming up, Stephen Moore is going to be grilled in a very nice way by us, an intellectual discussion.
No, I'm going to be nice.
Let's ask.
And we won't talk about Chris Wallace, how as a result of Bring Your Daughter to Work Day. We'll just focus on the issues.
Let's pretend that we're from the Hoover Institution.
Amen.
And we're interviewing Stephen Moore, the great economist, coming up after the news.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
At Joe Cotton Ford, we're making it fun and easy for you to buy your next new vehicle. It's all because of the Joe Cotton Ford promise. No one treats you better, and no one works harder to save you money. For 44 years, we've been treating our customers like family. We're here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your needs and budget. And talk about prices, right now lease the exciting 2018 Truck of the Year, the F-150 STX 4x4 Crew Cab for just $299 per month for 24 months. Come see why we're Chicagoland's best Ford buying experience and why Ford is America's best-selling brand. We'll show you all of the Joe Cotton Ford exclusives that make a Ford from Joe Cotton a better value, like 2 years free maintenance and rental car coverage. It's our promise to you we'll treat you great and save you money. From 3 generations of our family to yours, you have our word on it. At Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com.
To qualified buyers, 24-month FMCC red carpet low mileage lease, $29.95 down plus taxes and fees. First month's payment due at delivery. See dealer for details.
AM 560. The Answer.
All right, coming up after the news, we are going to be talking to Stephen Moore. Tag team, it's going to be like Bruiser and Crusher against Andre the Giant.
As long as you let me get in the ring without the interruption.
You, carte blanche, man. Carte blanche. Now let's go to the newsroom right now and Mike Scott.
Some breaking news this morning from Condoleezza Rice and the Commission on College Basketball. This morning, they're sharply directing the NCAA to take control of the sport, calling for sweeping reforms and ending one and done in college hoops, permitting players to return to school after going undrafted by the NBA, and banning all cheating coaches for life. The independent commission led by Condoleezza Rice detailed that 60-page report just a few minutes ago, 7 months after the group was formed by the NCAA. In response to that federal corruption investigation where 10, including some assistant coaches, have been charged in a bribery and kickback scheme. And high-profile programs like Arizona, Louisville, and Kansas have been tied to possible NCAA violations. The committee also offered a harsh assessment of the NCAA, saying they could not enforce. They also offered a very harsh assessment of the shady summer basketball circuit that includes AAU leagues that brings together agents, apparel companies, and coaches looking to profit on teenage prodigies. The Supreme Court takes up President Trump's controversial travel ban later this morning. Justices hearing oral arguments. Jurors in Bill Cosby's sexual assault retrial are ready to begin deliberations today. A Republican, the projected winner of the special congressional election in Arizona. Former State Senator Debbie Lesko holding off a Democratic challenger. Lesko will serve out the term of former Representative Trent Franks. A federal judge is ordering the Trump administration to accept new DACA applicants. The judge rejecting the administration's claim that the immigration program is unlawful, but gave the Trump administration 90 days to come up with new arguments. The suspect in the shooting of 2 Dallas police officers is in custody this morning.
Mr. Armando Luis Jerez was arrested. He's facing multiple counts, a warrant for multiple counts of aggravated assault on a police officer.
Police Chief Renee Hall in Dallas. One firefighter hospitalized after an overnight blaze along Jewelers Row in the Loop. Illinois' death toll from synthetic marijuana is now at 4. And Will County officials say they're purchasing more renewable energy. Daily Southtown reporting that Will County's board has voted to approve a 3-year contract. Half of that energy approved will come from renewable resources. Kyle Schwarber, 2 solo bombs. Cubs over the Indians 10-3. Mariners beat the White Sox 1-0 at Guaranteed Rate Field. The news is a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher loves the hypocrisy of the left.
This bastion of progressivism, Starbucks, where people who sit around for hours upon hours. You're going to tell me 2 black guys can't sit at a table without being bothered? And I love every bit of the consequences that pretentious, overpriced place is now having to pay.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas. Great coffee, period.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bastuga, co-founder of Signature Bank. If you get the feeling your deposits don't matter to your bank, then maybe you're not with the right bank. At Signature Bank, your deposits matter to us as much as your business loans. Signature provides unmatched banking expertise, custom financial solutions, and the industry's best technology to closely held Chicagoland businesses. Whether your business is looking for a deposit relationship or needs a ready source for financing, Signature Bank is the right bank for you. Call us today to see how Signature Bank can help your business grow and thrive.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
7:36 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The northbound Tri-State has heavy delays this morning from 127th to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. So on Reagan Tollway, it's slow from 31 to Eola and 83 to the Tri-State. Northbound Veterans Memorial is jammed. I-55 most of the way to St. Charles. And from the Army Trail toll to 290. Edens is 23 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 33. Kennedy, now an hour and 15 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 53 minutes. Eisenhower, an hour and 17 minutes. 390 to the Circle, outbound 51 minutes. Stevenson an hour 17, 355 to the drive. Ryan 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic service of Staples. Staples has low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. And now get the HP LaserJet Pro M203DW for just $129 this week, only at Staples, your total printing solution. While supplies last, valid on SKU 244446, ends 428. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte at AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Breezy, cooler times of clouds and sun, high 54. Currently 43. Next news coming up at 8. With Dan and Amy in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. We're pleased to be joined right now by Stephen Moore. Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Hi, good morning, guys. I wish I were in Mexico, but I'm doing pretty well. How about you guys?
Well, of course, Stephen is the Wall Street Journal columnist, senior economist for CNN, and former Donald Trump advisor. And I can't believe you'd want to give any business to Mexico right now, Stephen. When that great big sucking sound you hear is Mexico taking Dan and Amy from us. I mean, really, Stephen.
Yeah, exactly. Who's next? Look, it is interesting. They're over there right at the time that Trump is really involved in these NAFTA negotiations. You can get this reformed and updated. I do want to see NAFTA extended. I think it's been good for all three countries, but it does need to be revised and modernized, and we'll see how that happens. You know, there was a big story in the paper the other day about the fact that, Mexico has these elections coming up this summer. Nobody's been really paying much attention to this, but the scary part about this is that one of the leading candidates now, the one who's leading in the polls, is a left-wing socialist, and that you want to talk about bad news for the United States. I mean, if Mexico went the way of Cuba or Venezuela, think about how many. You think we've got an illegal immigration problem now? I mean, you'd have millions of Mexicans coming over the border.
Well, Stephen, I got to ask you, though, he's really a national populist, if you listen to what he's saying. So we're having a battle of national populism. And my question is, I just paid over $3 per gallon, right? Interest rates, along with debt, personal, corporate, and the country are at its highest levels. The interest rates to borrow money through the roof. Now, I know inflation pretends to be a strong dollar. But
hold on. Interest rates to borrow money are through the roof. I mean, they're still at their lowest level in 30 years. Yeah, the 10-year Treasury has gone from 2 to 3, but that's we're talking about mortgage rates and so on that are still very close to the lowest they've been in since the 1960s.
Why were they raised, though? The Federal Reserve is supposed to raise the rate to cool down an economy that's really thriving, when in fact you've got the lowest participation. It hasn't really changed since Obama was president, fractional at best. So I think the Federal Reserve raised the rates because they had to, or because they wanted to, not because they had to. I think they're trying to fake inflation. I think inflation is a deceptive tool to fake a strong dollar and to raise tax revenue.
Okay, so there's a lot there. I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. You think that there is not inflation out there?
I think they're creating it. I think it's created inflation.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. You just said two contradicting things. If they're raising rates, that actually tapers inflation. But my view is, if you look at the Consumer Price Index, last month consumer prices were flat, no increase whatsoever, zero inflation. I don't see inflation out there as a problem right now. Now, interest rates are rising in no small part because the economy is booming right now. There's no question about it. We're seeing just a surge in output. We're seeing a huge surge in employment. And yes, labor force participation rate has risen. It hasn't fallen under Trump. Now, now it was at record lows under Obama, and I'd like to see that labor force participation rate continue to rise. But my goodness, we now have a situation in the United States where we have 5 million more job openings than we have Americans that can fill those jobs. So that's a pretty good problem for a country to have. Should the Fed be raising interest rates? I think at a moderate pace. I think they're pretty much doing the right thing. Remember, under Obama, the Fed just deluged the U.S. economy with cheap money and zero interest rate policy. Now we're trying to, pull back on some of that excessive money that's been sloshing around.
What about omnibus and infrastructure? Omnibus, the
Well,
spending.
you're right.
I mean, Obama
Yeah.
could have never passed it. And now your big answer is infrastructure spending, which is a Keynesian fuel of a fake GDP?
And our infrastructure is fine, Stephen. You know that it's fine. It's not that bad, right?
Okay. So, look, I am not going to defend the omnibus. I mean, Dan and Amy and I have been talking about that for a month, that it is an abomination that they passed that omnibus spending bill. And I could not agree with you more. Republicans spent like drunken Democrats on this one. And they probably, you're right, they probably even spent more than the Democrats did. So I'm not defending the Republicans on that spending bill. On infrastructure, look, Trump has a pretty interesting idea out there. He's not talking about, traditional public works programs. He's talking about rebuilding our broadband, our pipelines, our LNG terminals, our satellite systems, our protecting our electric grid system. All of that has to be modernized. And here's what's cool about this. I mean, if Trump does this the right way, and the Democrats are not in favor of this, but I certainly am, you could do most of this with private financing. It's just a private investment in our infrastructure. And by the way, every time a company builds a new factory here in the United States, that's infrastructure, right? That's private infrastructure. That's what we want.
All right, Stephen, let's talk about tariffs for a second. I mean, the myths about tariffs, and it's such a populist thing for Trump to be on board with. And he's been this way for years. I remember, talking to Oprah 30 years ago, and he was worried about the Japanese. And, of course, we knew how the Japanese took over the world 30 years ago. But when you have a trade deficit, it's like having a trade deficit with Target, right? You buy their goods. They don't have to buy your goods. You're giving them dollars. And our money comes back to us in investment. We have an investment surplus. Or eventually has to come back to us because we're the world's currency. But we have this myth, and people are running on this, the populist Republicans and Democrats alike, with tariffs. And how do you get Trump off of this?
Well, look, I mean, if Donald Trump had run as a traditional Milton Friedman free trader, then Hillary Clinton would be president today. I mean, it's just a fact. I mean, I traveled around with him, and I've got to tell you, you and I can talk as much as we want about, the virtues of free trade, and I'm a free trader, no question about it. But you know what? A lot of American people are not with us on this, and Trump saw out there a rage of voters that factories were leaving, and if you live in Rockville, Illinois, or you live in Erie, Pennsylvania, and the factory leaves for Mexico or China, you're going to be angry, and voters are angry. Now, look, I do believe that tariffs are a bad idea. We want to reduce tariffs, but what Trump is doing, and I'm just trying to explain what he's doing rather than trying to justify it, but I do think there is some justification for this, is to basically try to use our leverage over these other countries to lower their trade barriers against our goods and services. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, there is something wrong with that. I thought you believed in David Ricardo's theory of comparative advantage. I mean,
of course I do. Of course I do.
So it's a two-part. It's a two-part deception.
No, but let them go into protectionist mode themselves. They'll wind up going Japan's way, right?
Okay, well, your position is unilateral free trade, and that's certainly that is certainly a position that maybe Milton Friedman would have held. And by the way, Milton Friedman was a good friend of mine. What I think Trump is saying is, look, I've talked to Trump many times about this. He says, look, I'm a free trader. I just want to make sure these other countries are playing by the rules.
Wait a minute, Milton Friedman didn't stand up at your wedding like Larry Kudlow did, right? I mean,
he didn't what?
Stand up at your wedding like Larry Kudlow did, right?
Yeah, well, that's true. That was awesome. But yeah, Larry's my best man. So but my point is, why not use look? The hub of the world economy is the United States. Every country has to trade with the U.S. Especially China and Japan and those countries. What's wrong with Trump saying to China and Japan, if you want access to our markets, you're going to have to give us greater access to yours. Japan, by the way, has the highest trade barriers of any country in the world. China is right behind them. So we open up our markets to them, but they don't open up their markets to us? No, I don't think we can live with that.
I'm not agreeing.
Leverage.
I'm not agreeing with that. But I'm saying you're not fixing the problem when you deceive the people. The reason that these factories left is because of government and corporatism, right? It's because of misuse and abuse of government lobbying and government power and law used as a spear, not a shield. So let's kind of fix that, which I thought he was going to do when he started to decrease regulations. Fine. Good. But the answer isn't to commingle and compromise with wrong answers of the Bull Moose Party or Hoover tariffs, right?
Well, certainly I agree with you, and this is a point Larry and I used to make all the time with Trump. I mean, you've made a really good point, which is, look, if you want to make America more competitive in these global markets, cut our tax rates, get rid of the regulations that are, so onerous for American businesses. And you know what? They will be more competitive. And guess what? They are more competitive. And incidentally, because we've cut our taxes, we are sucking capital into the United States from the rest of the world, which is a good thing, which means that they'll, build more things and invest more things here. So, look, I'm an optimist on the U.S. economy. I think the economy, we're going to get our GDP report tomorrow for the for the first quarter of this year, and it's probably going to be about 2 to 2.5%, which is a little less than we had hoped for. We want to be on a 3 to 3.5% growth path. But over the last 4 quarters, Trump has already ratcheted up growth on a quarterly basis for the last 4 years to 3%. If we get it to 3.5%, a lot of these other problems that you're talking about will be largely alleviated because faster growth, putting people back to work, is the best way to bring down the deficit to that and all those things.
All right, and that sunny note, we'll bid adieu. Thanks so much for joining us, Stephen. We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, when do you guys get to go to Mexico?
Well,
we're the B team. We don't get to go to Mexico.
We don't give them business until they. Come on. We're Trumpians here. Thank you, Stephen. Stephen Moore joining us.
Have a great day, guys.
You too.
Bye.
Bye now. This is AM 560. The Answer.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560 The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, and it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. And the thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560. The Answer.
I'm getting drunk on a plane. Buying drinks for everybody but the pilot. It's a party.
Hola. I don't know how to say anything else in Spanish.
I know you don't.
Passport to Paradise, that's our trip. We're at Secrets Maroma Beach Resort in Riviera Maya, Mexico. Thank you to our sponsors, Arlington Ice Heating and Cooling, Joe Cotton Ford, and Opum Tax Resolution, the law offices of Stephen Leahy. Amy's mom is here, who is a classmate of my father and now scholars debate this, so I want to get your take on this. Niles East or Niles Township High School. What was it called?
It was Niles Township High School when we graduated.
Okay.
And it quickly became Niles East.
Right.
Right after we left.
And then they shut it down because you guys
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you had 1,000 people in your class, but one Larry Proft was in your class. And what do you remember about Larry Proft?
Hey, Larry.
That's the first time my dad has ever gotten a shout out on radio.
Yeah, this is a big shout out to Larry Proft. And I think I hopefully one of these days we'll meet again. It's only been 62 years.
Why don't we organize a
This is
lunch at the old
uncomfortable.
Niles East lunchroom?
Oh, yeah, that's
Whatever
right.
it is.
But
in
you had
2018.
1,000 people in your class, so you didn't know them, be honest.
No, I mean, you know, you can't know everybody when you have 1,000 kids. We graduated in shifts, actually.
Yeah.
Because there were so many of us. But, yeah, Roundy's is where we went when we were in high school.
Roundy's.
But that's not there. So
That's
can't go there.
there's a lot of parents from that class whose kids went on to do great things.
Oh, yeah.
Karen Vetter.
Right?
Karen Vetter was a friend of mine, or she still is. Yes.
And all of her husbands went to Niles Township, right? Or does Eddie not know this? Well, I mean, it doesn't.
Wow.
Amy,
Breaking Bad on Karen Vetter? You can't do
No,
that.
I'm saying.
That's not how your mom raised you, to break bad on Karen Vetter.
No, we like Karen.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about that. All right. So what about when you gave birth to me? Besides it being the best day of your life, which is also Larry Proft's birthday is 11/11 too.
And your birth was also the best day of his
Are
life.
you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, November 11th.
Oh
yeah.
my word! Wow, that's some day. That's a big day. Yes.
What was it like?
It was well. It was
besides painful.
Yeah. It. Do you really want this story?
Oh,
no, tell him.
I was a fish
Are you
man.
prepared for the truth, Amy?
No, she gave birth to a cat.
Amy was a month early, and it was a good thing because she wouldn't be standing here today if she went full term.
Tell them what happened.
She was born breech. Her cord was wrapped around her neck twice, tied in a double knot with double knots all the way up it. And the doctor said he never saw anything like that, ever.
And that's after when I came out, he said, "Oh, another one of those," because I have 2 older sisters.
Another one of those. Isn't that something?
So, do you still have my umbilical
I'm trying to
cord?
decide if I want to ask the next question or not. I don't
Do you
think
still
I'm
have
going
my
to.
umbilical cord? Because there was an inch. Every inch was a double knot.
They did save
Did
it
you-
and showed it to me.
Has that been auctioned off on eBay, or who's got that?
I don't know. Maybe it went down into medical science. But surely
Yes.
if she had gone full term, she would have strangled.
Wow. Wow. That's a harrowing
Be
tale.
here. Right. So that's how it came out. Now it's all bells and whistles.
Yeah.
And how do you like living about 1,500 miles away from Amy now?
Well, Amy is how I got to Tucson.
Ah.
She worked for KOLD, which is CBS affiliate in Tucson. Her first job out of college, and second job.
Actually, my third, but that's all right.
Oh, really? Okay. Anyway, I can't keep up. Anyway,
She can't keep a job, is what you're saying. We got it. Yeah.
No, I was moving up the food chain.
Sure, of course.
Anyway, I would go to visit her often, and she introduced me to a man who offered me a job. And I way out of character, I took it. And she was gone. She had left and gone to El Paso.
She got that right.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to follow her to there. So I've been there ever since.
Don't you like your property tax bill when you get it compared to what it was like in Illinois?
Yeah, it's $1,800. A year.
And her house is bigger than my house.
No, it isn't. No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Well, we could debate this later, Mom.
I have a better backyard.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that?
I don't feel like I should interrupt this conversation. I don't want to get in trouble with Amy's mom.
Well, Mom, thanks. You came on our first trip to Costa Rica, and now you're here again.
I did, and I just want you to know that you have the most wonderful listeners.
Yeah.
And the
Good
people
crew.
that are here are just wonderful, and I would encourage everybody to sign up and take a trip next year when you have the opportunity, because these are true, honest, good, down-to-earth, wonderful people.
Maybe
and
we'll have
I'm
to-
really enjoying it.
Thank you. We'll have to scramble Larry for next year's trip.
Larry ought to come.
But
Absolutely.
I don't think
Larry.
he doesn't want to fly anymore, so we're going to have to do
Oh.
like a Joe Madden over-the-road bus trip. John Madden. What am I
John
saying? Joe
Madden, that's right.
Yeah. No,
It's like he doesn't want to fly, then that might be hard on the relationship.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
All right. Well, Mom, thank you. I love you so much. Thanks for coming.
Oh, thank you, Amy. I love you too. And
I love you too, Mrs. Jacobson.
And
It's nice for me to be a part of this. Oh, thank you.
Louise and Larry finally got together. Just kidding.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for upstream-ideas.com. Game show idea. Comey, Corey, or Christian. I'm going to read a series of passages, and you tell me which was said or written by former FBI Director Jim Comey, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, or 50 Shades of Grey protagonist Christian Grey. Let's begin. I want you to know that nothing has happened in the last year to change my view. Boy, those were the words I needed to hear. I know. And the East Coast loves you, and by the East Coast, I mean me. Do you think gay sex is a perversion? We lie there, panting together, waiting for our breathing to slow. He gently strokes my hair. Boy, I survived. That wasn't so bad. He was not going to get a hug without being a whole lot stronger than he looked. He wasn't. He holds out his hand, and in his palm are two shiny silver balls linked with a thick black thread. As he extended his hand, I made a mental note to check its size. It was smaller than mine, but did not seem unusually so. Look out, E.L. James. Jim Comey and Cory Booker are coming for you.
There's always that time of day when the sun creates havoc at the office.
This is ridiculous.
You're literally blinded by the light. Can't see a thing on your computer monitor and feel like you're baking in an oven. Make your office or storefront distraction-free with custom shades from 1-800-4BLINDS. You'll keep your customers comfortable, protect furnishings and decor from fading, and have happy, productive employees that don't have to stop in the middle of a project because of the glare. 1-800-4BLINDS can get the job done quickly with their local in-house installation crew. You'll save money on window treatments that not only look great, but will also help you shrink utility bills with special heat-reducing shades that can trap heat between the window and shade. They also offer custom painted solar shades with your logo or photo image printed directly on the shade. Get the sun out of your eyes. Call 1-800-4BLINDS direct for a consultation today. 773-447-5448 or visit 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com. That's 1-800-4BLINDSchicago.com.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by, making minimum payments? You should know the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people they're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a large portion of your debt now. Visit ndrnow.com. That's ndrnow.com. Go now to ndrnow.com. ndrnow.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
A ruling they dreamed about. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A third federal judge has sided with the so-called dreamers, immigrants brought here illegally as kids. Fox's John Decker is live at the White House.
Ruling that President Trump wrongfully terminated the DACA program based on virtually unexplained grounds, a federal district court judge from Washington, D.C. said that the program that protects young undocumented immigrants from deportation must stay in place. Judge John Bates ruled that DACA's rescission was arbitrary and capricious and said that if the Trump administration can't provide sufficient justification for ending the program within 90 days, it must start accepting new applications. The Justice Department said in a statement that it still believes DACA was the result of an unlawful circumvention of Congress. Dave?
John, the Supreme Court's about to hear the final case of this term considering the president's travel ban.
Justices must decide the power of the president to temporarily limit travel to the U.S. from citizens of several countries. Opponents say it's a backdoor Muslim ban. The White House says the list of countries is crafted for national security. While a decision is not expected to be announced until late June, the court is taking a rare step in releasing audio of the arguments this morning, later today. At the Supreme Court, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
A vacant seat in Congress is staying Republican red. Debbie Lesko won a special election in Arizona.
Wow,
All I can say is, wow, this is really something. I'm going to be a congresswoman.
Let's go beat Democrat Gerald Tipernini by about 6 points in a district President Trump won by 21. Two police officers and a Home Depot worker in Texas in critical condition the morning after being shot by someone they were trying to remove from a store.
One of the officers sustained serious injuries and is gravely ill.
Dallas Police Sergeant Michael Mata, both officers reportedly shot in the head, needed surgery. The shooter fled, but was captured hours later after a high-speed chase. Fox News, fair and balanced.
44 degrees, skies are sunny, 8:02 on WIND Chicago. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. Chicago Fire Department now says 2 firefighters were hospitalized after battling an overnight blaze in the Loop. The 3-alarm fire broke out at the historic Maulers building, part of Jewelers Row on South Wabash, also resulting in the rescue of 2 men who were reportedly working in their office late. The Illinois Department of Corrections parolee who escaped was nabbed in Glenview yesterday. Keir Norman reportedly resisted arrest in the South Shore neighborhood on Tuesday, went on the lam, sparking an all-day search. 1 person is dead following a shooting on the west side Tuesday night. It happened right around 10 p.m. on West Chicago Avenue in the Austin neighborhood. Chicago police say the victim has not been ID'd. At least 10 others were reportedly wounded in Chicago's shooting since noon yesterday. Senate Democrats are hoping to reverse Governor Bruce Rauner's veto of state licensing of Illinois firearms dealers, but facing a deadline today. Democrat Senator Don Harmon of Oak Park decided against an override attempt late last night in spite of a long day of legislative action. Harmon seemed confident of a supermajority of 36 votes in the Senate, but says Democrats cannot gather right now the 71 votes needed in the House. Cubs top the Indians 10-3. Mariners blank the White Sox 1-0. The News is a service of Staples, with low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. And now, get the HP LaserJet Pro M203DW for just $129.99 this week only at Staples, your total printing solution. While supplies last, valid on SKU 2444436, ends 428. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, more corporate earnings are coming in. Boeing's earnings are stronger and top forecasts. Twitter made money in its recent quarter, and its business was stronger than expected. It's been attracting more video ads in Asia and other markets outside the U.S., and the number of people using Twitter rose 3% from a year earlier. Twitter turned a profit for the first time last year. Comcast lost 96,000 cable TV subscribers in the recent quarter, but its earnings were sharply higher than a year ago. Comcast is officially bidding for European pay TV company Sky, offering to pay $31 billion. That bid tops an offer from 21st Century Fox, the parent company of Fox News. The Dow was down 424 yesterday. The Nasdaq dropped 121. The S&P lost 35. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05 in Chicago. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The news moves full speed every day. It can be hard to keep up with what's happening, what it means, and why it's important. That's why we're here at AM 560. We'll keep you up to date all day with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson in the morning.
First thing you do, don't flee a police officer.
That's what they think happened.
Followed by Mike Gallagher and Dennis Prager. In the afternoon, it's Sean Hannity.
There is now an intoxicating drug. It's called Trump hate.
And Joe Walsh with your drive home.
God, they don't understand what the NRA is.
This is AM 560. The Answer.
As you approach retirement, it's important to determine the amount of income you can receive from Social Security. Depending on when and how distributions are taken, you may be able to optimize the benefits you're eligible to receive, particularly among married couples. Call Jack Taboda today to get a copy of his informational booklet, The Social Security Decisions. This informational booklet presents the facts about Social Security distribution options to help you determine when and how to begin taking distributions, so you may receive more income over the course of your retirement. Retirement. To receive your Social Security Decisions informational booklet, call Jack at 630-777-7955 or visit Teboda.com. That's TEBODA.com. Get the most out of your Social Security benefits. Call today, 630-777-7955.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and Teboda & Associates are not affiliated companies. Teboda & Associates is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Buying a new tractor? You owe it to yourself to visit your LS Tractor dealer. LS Tractors give you a lot more tractor for less money compared to other brands. For starters, LS Tractor comes with more select features as standard equipment. They make operating your tractor easier with better performance to get more work done quicker. Compare and you'll know who gives you more tractor for your money. LS Tractor. Excel in your field. Learn more at lstractorusa.com.
Visit Abbey Equipment in Streator and get more tractor.
Are we ready to open next month?
I think so.
You think so?
Well, it's complicated. Fire protection, first aid supplies, uniforms, safety training, mat services, oh, and restroom supplies.
So uncomplicated. Call Cintas. They'll handle all of it.
Wow, one company can handle all that? That's not very complicated.
So, you'll be ready?
Oh, we'll be ready.
Learn how Cintas can help you get ready for the workday. Visit Cintas.com.
8:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. The inbound Kennedy has major delays from Nagel to the Burn Circle. It is an hour and 12 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 43 minutes from Montrose, 33 in the Express. Outbound 24 minutes to Montrose, 46 to the airport. Edens is 23 minutes from Lycook Junction, outbound 28. Eisenhower, an hour and 17 minutes, 390 to downtown. 56 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 51, 390. Stevenson, an hour and 17 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 26 minutes, I-80 to the Merge. Bishop, 443. Lakeshore Drive southbound heavy, Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevenson to Jackson. Northbound Tri-State jammed, 115th to 31st. And from the Reagan to North Avenue, Veterans Memorial delays. From I-55 to the Reagan Tollway. And from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Traffic service at Staples. Staples has low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. And now get the HP LaserJet Pro M203DW for just $129.99. This week only at Staples. Your total printing solution. While supplies last. Valid on SKU 2444436. Ends 428. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, breezy with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Clouds and sun with a high 54. Clear night, low 36. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high 65. And a partly cloudy night, low 41. Then Friday, some sun with a high of 60. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
A wind chill of 34 above right now as winds are out of the north at 13. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. Having a good time?
I'm having a lot of fun. Nobody else is apparently from the texts and tweets, but I'm having a great time.
You know, one person who tweets represents a mere 100,000 people who are upset with you.
I love the hatred.
We are pleased to be joined right now by a friend of mine who used to write for National Reviews, written for The Federalist, writes for American Greatness. She painstakingly chronicles the media bias that exists. We know about it, in our gut, but she actually documents it and does a wonderful job doing it. Julie Kelly, thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
So, Julie, Bloomberg yesterday reports that White House officials say lawmakers shouldn't vigorously defend Scott Pruitt. And as you've chronicled, nobody talks about what happened during the Obama administration with regard to the EPA. But, boy, there are There's story after story after story about Scott Pruitt now.
I mean, I've never seen anything like it, and it's not even unfair at this point. It's a propaganda campaign, especially by the New York Times, to destroy Scott Pruitt and damage him so badly that he can have no future political career. And so there's a hearing on the Hill tomorrow. Lawmakers are going to be exploring some of these charges against him. And I really hope he prevails because I think he's very popular with the base, Republican base.
Well, I mean, that's the problem. I mean, when people say, why did you vote Trump? Because every time somebody says something or makes fun of what Trump has done, another gaffe, the conservative response is but Gorsuch. For me, I amend that. It's but Gorsuch and Pruitt because he's so important. But can you just give us a feeling? I mean, you've generally said that the New York Times is after him. I mean, what are the kinds of things that the New York Times is picking on with Pruitt, but that they didn't do with the Obama administration?
I mean, there's so many, and I have articles up. I know that you've read them. Bruce at AmericanGreatness.com. The New York Times has now, in the month of April alone, posted 97 articles about Scott Pruitt. In 4 years, they wrote 120 articles about Gene McCarthy, who was Obama's last EPA administrator. Now, this is despite the fact that Gene McCarthy's EPA was responsible for the Gold King mine spill in Colorado that dumped 3 million gallons of toxic waste.
But it was an accident. Right. It was an accident.
Exactly. And it was a subcontractor. So it technically wasn't the EPA, was her excuse. She repeatedly lied to Congress. In fact, she was charged with contempt of Congress by several Republican lawmakers. She repeatedly refused to turn over scientific data to the House Science Committee, which Pruitt just announced yesterday, a new policy regarding that. She deleted 6,000 texts that were being pursued by Congress. She was actually dinged by the General Accounting Office for breaking the law and using social media illegally to sell their clean water or waters of the U.S. rule. So she violated the law. There were no articles, no editorials in the New York Times asking her to step down after any of these, any of her misconduct. Like I said, 120 articles about Gene McCarthy. A few of them were glowing. She was described as this, great mouthpiece for the president and such an advocate for the environment and for climate change. But after all of her missteps and lying to Congress and refusing to cooperate and be held accountable, only 120 articles just in the New York Times.
Now,
so we had an EPA that was very corrupt under the Obama administration. They also had problems with travel costs. None of this was covered until Scott Pruitt was sworn in I guess it would be January of 2017.
Now, this is my wheelhouse because I remember when Gina McCarthy was appointed, I found her nauseating. I did the research.
Yeah.
I felt the only thing she was qualified to be was the spokeswoman person for Subaru, and that's it. But the broader issue that I have with it is those people that house and are the actual employees of the EPA, they just got a raise under this omnibus thing. And earlier, I think the problem with our system, Julie, and tell me where I'm wrong, is the fact that these people actually do have what's called political careers. I don't like political careers. I don't like the interwoven corporatism and fraud with lobbyists that they just exchange money and they just get, the more they fail, the higher they get in our government. Now, when I criticize the omnibus spending, when I criticize the debt and Trumponomics, why do I get pushed into that never-Trumper? I'm not a never-Trumper. I would have loved to hang out with him, right? He he changes wives every few years. He's got the private jet. He owns golf courses. I'm all in.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to be
I want in. Yeah. But I'm not a never-Trumper, but I don't like a lot of things that go on. So am I the bad guy?
No, of course not. And I mean, I hear that from a lot of Republicans. I think that it's a valid criticism. I think that there were a lot of Republicans who were disgusted with the budget bill, and I think Trump, too late, tried to fix it. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be reauthorized or up again in September. But look, there's a bigger war going on, and I've written about this too. You can only pick so many battles, okay? We are right now in a huge political battle with the left and Never Trump to regain some control of our federal government that has been corrupted under the Obama administration, helped by the media, and now boosted by the Never Trump Republicans. And, you know, Americans want their authority and their control back. And they see what's happening. You have a Mueller investigation that's completely out of control. We now know that Jim Comey is corrupt, Andrew McCabe is corrupt. You have a litany of people in the Obama Department of Justice. Loretta Lynch could possibly be condemned in next month's DOJ Inspector General report. I mean, we are uncovering the greatest political scandal possibly in history. So, you know, you've got to pick your battles. So, you know, spending goes up a little bit higher than maybe the Republicans would prefer. That might be a small price to pay right now to, you know, exposing what has been happening in Washington, D.C., and really attacking and exploiting innocent people. Carter Page, George Papadopoulos.
Sure.
It could be any of us.
Julie, so Julie,
you know, to that point, I think you got to pick your battles.
Yeah, well, here's one battle. I mean, did you see who Comey has selected as his personal attorney? Patrick Fitzgerald. So here's Fitzgerald, who can really relate to the withholding of exculpatory evidence. That is keeping Trump in the dark about the dossier origin. He left that out, which you know would have made Trump feel good. Because remember, it is Patrick Fitzgerald who handled the Scooter Libby trial, a trial that never should have occurred. But he fought against exculpatory evidence that would have allowed Judith Miller to say, "Hey, I'm not going to testify against Scooter Libby." So he's familiar with doing that kind of thing. And
well, he sure is. And just, you know, remember his grandstanding in the Blagojevich trial case. I mean, you know, these people are cut from the same cloth. And when I saw that yesterday, I just thought, you know, here's this triumvirate back together: Robert Mueller, James Comey, and Patrick Fitzgerald. You know, don't they know any other attorneys?
Right.
People in the world who can litigate anything? I don't understand.
It's like Maggie Smith getting all the parts in British movies. There's no other actors in Britain. And Patrick Fitzgerald, he always comes out of the woodwork. There's no other prosecutors. It's all this nice incestuous thing that they have going.
You know, Julie, I heard your argument. You know, you're right to a certain extent. You can't fight them all. But I got to tell you, Julie, I'm from Melrose Park. I live in Elmwood Park. I'm only really good at two things, and fighting's one of them. I think the only way we win is when fighting takes place among what used to be Republicans. Because what I'm seeing, Julie, and it's nauseating me, the Democrats are Soviets. It's over with. But what I'm seeing in Trumponomics is that the Republicans have become Democrats. And you know, I think it's important we fight them all. What do you say?
I would disagree with you because I think outside of the budget bill, you have to look at what's been happening with deregulation. And this goes back to the EPA, and Sean is someone who's followed this. The deregulation of industry in this country is going to be more consequential long term than I think anything really budget related. So you have tax cuts, you have deregulation, you have conservative judges being installed that are going to oversee a lot of laws moving forward when the left takes over again, because at some point they'll be back in power. And so, you know, Trumponomics, I'm not really sure that just relates to the budget bill. I think there's a lot more to it that is very positive. You know, you've got to contrast it to what the alternative is.
We've got to fight our battles with Trump, too. Julie, one quick question. You know, I only have a few seconds here. Are you going to buy Jonah Goldberg's new book, Suicide of the West? I'll run away and listen for my answer. Go ahead.
That would be a no, especially since Ben Boychuk at our site has already found a few errors in it. And I'm sorry. I just have no interest in what he writes.
Okay. That's where the battle is, this intramural fight that we're in. And next time we talk to you, we'll bring up Bill Kristol, and then I'll put on my protective armor because I don't want to get hit by the shrapnel. Thanks so much,
right.
Julie.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Julie Kelly from American Greatness, written for the Federalist, has written for National.
Has a lot of credibility, except she's friends with you.
She's from Oak Lawn.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Oak Lawn.
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
Well, I grew up in Naperville, but I live in Orland Park.
Oh, and why did I say Oak Lawn? Yeah, no, Orland Park. Excuse me.
He's got an affinity for Southside girls.
I was trying to get a fight between Melrose Park and Orland Park. Thank you, Julie. Appreciate it. Yeah, I got to get. Boy, people get upset about their geography. No. It's like saying I'm from Morton Grove when I was from Skokie.
I wanted to explain that Trumponomics is like Keynesianism with a comb over, but we didn't have time.
We'll do that after the break.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
All right. Today, in case you don't have a job and you're not outside, it's breezy and cooler with times of clouds and sun, high 54. Tonight, clear and chilly down to 36. Tomorrow, that's the winter, baby. 65, sunny. Poor Bruce Wolf will be playing like an old lady in front of you on the golf course. Now, Jim Telemonte, who's driving like an old lady on the roads?
Oh, a lot of people, Sean. Good morning. Morning, Bruce Kennedy. An hour and 12 minutes O'Hare to downtown. The jam is from Nagel into the Burns Circle. It's 43 minutes from Montrose, 33 in the Express. Outbound 46 minutes downtown to the airport. The Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Kennedy. Outbound 35. The Eisenhower's an hour and 9 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 57 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 8 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. Outbound 39 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to the loop. Bishop Ford still rough, 46 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. Delays on the Tri-State are northbound from 115th to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. From Reagan Tollway tied up 22nd to the Tri-State. Northbound Veterans Memorial from I-55 to the Reagan Tollway, and from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Southbound 53 has mild delays, ran to Kirchhoff. I'm Jim Telemonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. Over the last several years, it's been difficult for business owners and self-employed borrowers to refinance or buy homes, but that's about to change, Ryan. Tell everyone about your new loan program.
We're really excited to announce the Bank Statement Mortgage. The Bank Statement Mortgage is going to be a game changer in the industry. We're the first people to bring it out to the market. Here's the deal. If you're a business owner or self-employed, maybe you're a dentist, a doctor, a lawyer, a realtor, insurance agent, a contractor, a web designer, whatever it is, you should be taking advantage of all of your taxable, all your deductions. When you do that, you might make $70,000 a year, but after you write everything off, you're down to about $25,000, and you can't qualify for a mortgage on $25,000 in adjusted gross income. Well, I don't need your tax returns, pay stubs, 1099s, or any of that. I'll qualify you on your bank statements. If you're self-employed and you need a mortgage, apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Supporting veterans is our passion. That's why we support Veteran Roasters, a Chicago coffee roaster that hires homeless and chronically unemployed veterans. If you'd like to help create jobs for homeless veterans, visit veteranroasters.com and purchase a 12-ounce bag of coffee roasted and ground by once homeless and unemployed veterans. The coffee's delicious, and the profits are reinvested in hiring additional homeless veterans. Use promo code Team Hochberg to save 50% off the second bag you purchase. If you're a veteran securing a VA loan and would like to work with a local lender who supports veterans, call Team Hochberg now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking. And he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Have you met the Swamp Brothers? Congressman Todd Rokita and Congressman Luke Messer. You already know their stories. Todd Rokita and Luke Messer are two lawyers who never practiced and became career politicians. What makes them Swamp Brothers? It's their records in Washington. In Congress, Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted to fast-track Obama's bad trade deals which could have cost Indiana thousands of jobs. And Todd Rokita and Luke Messer voted for billions in new debt, $500 billion to be exact. But there's more, and it's even worse. Todd and Luke voted to fund abortion provider Planned Parenthood and Obama's executive amnesty. Todd's no conservative. He's a fraud. Luke's no conservative. He's a liberal. Todd the fraud. Luke the liberal. The Swamp Brothers. Wrong for you.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Gentlemen, when it comes to your daily health and quality of life, there are numbers every man needs to know, including our testosterone number. Hi, Dan Proft here. I personally recommend choosing my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested. These guys are great. They make it quick and easy. Low T levels can make you feel tired and grumpy, cause lack of motivation and drive. It can raise your cholesterol levels, cause weight gain, and loss of muscle mass. If you've been experiencing any of these symptoms, it's time to get your levels checked. At Low T Center, they accept most health insurance and will even verify it for you. Low T Center's physicians specialize in treating low T in men. It's been their specialty for many years. They know men's health, and they're reinventing men's health care. When it comes to your health and daily quality of life, do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Proft sent you. The number 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com for more information. That website again, lowtcenter.com.
Warmer temps are here, spring is in the air, and spring cleaning is too. Elgin Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal, copper, aluminum, brass, and steel. Time to clean out the garage, basement, and junk drawers. Clear it out now and get cash. Contact Elgin Recycling. They've got 4 drop-off locations with truck scales, convenient to I-90. Contractors, ask about on-site weigh and pay services. Get cash now for your scrap metal. Contact Elgin Recycling today at 847-741-4100 or online at elginrecycling.com. Televisions and computers have come a long way this past decade, which leaves behind thousands of old TVs, monitors, electronics, and more. Elgin Recycling does electronic recycling too. They've got services that include TV recycling, collection events, digital data destruction, IT asset management, and more. Contact Elgin Recycling today at 847-741-4100 or online at elginrecycling.com. elginrecycling.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson in for Dan and Amy. So Ronnie Jackson, his nomination to be the head of Veterans Affairs is in trouble. And I guess there's a legitimate reason. He's a doctor who doesn't have much administrative experience, and there's hundreds.
He knows what a highball is, though.
Well, that's the thing. They call him the candy man who can take an opioid, dispense it out to you. Yeah, all right.
You just figured out that doctors are drug dealers with lab coats? That's what they do,
What does he need it for? To be abused by a bunch of politicians that aren't thinking nicely about our country? I really don't think, personally, he should do it, but it's totally his. I would stand behind him, totally his decision.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, Donald Trump, if he took his own advice, would not have lasted through 2 primaries.
Yeah, we'd have President Pence.
This is the guy who has the Access Hollywood tape on his resume, and he still got elected president of the United States. And
that's a backhanded way of saying, don't make me fire you. Don't make me fire you.
Well, I think Ronnie Jackson's going to fight the good fight. He's going to pull the Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, sure.
He's going to say, yeah, so what? I got drunk one night, and I was making so much noise that I almost woke up President Obama and Michelle Obama, who were in another room right by them, sleeping in separate beds, I guarantee you,
So
right?
you think that Rahm Emanuel will have an opponent and Chuy Garcia won't be the next congressman? I mean, this is a false flag if I ever saw you. I'm going to put up a good fight. He's already got the bags packed out of their boxes with his address on it in the office.
I think Jackson's going to fight this thing.
It doesn't matter if he does, he's gone.
When we come back,
Scaramucci will
we
give him a ride home.
We want to take your calls at 312-642-5600. Would like to get comments like we got John from Palatine, I see here on the screen. Called to say he really likes me and Sean. Called us a conservative Bert and Ernie. Weren't they gay, though?
I don't know. I could do better than you.
It's funny because Dan and I were called Waldorf and Statler or whatever. So it's all these Sesame Street characters. I can't escape that. I'd rather be the Cookie Monster. Let's go to the newsroom and Mike Scott.
44 degrees. We have sunshine right now, but gusty winds out of the north give us a wind chill of 34 above. And as Bruce and Sean have been talking with you about this morning, President Trump's nominee to lead the Department of Veterans Affairs will not withdraw his bid in spite of allegations of workplace misconduct. White House physician Dr. Ronnie Jackson had an Oval Office meeting with the president late yesterday afternoon. The president left the door open for Jackson to drop his nomination. President Trump's travel ban getting a close look from the U.S. Supreme Court today. Justices will hear arguments in the case. The president imposed that travel ban on several from so-called high-risk countries. The court date is being pushed back for the man accused of killing four at the Tennessee Waffle House restaurant. First court appearance for 29-year-old Travis Reinking was scheduled for today, but it will be pushed back to May 7. The man who shot and critically wounded two Dallas police officers and hurt an employee at a home improvement store led law enforcement on a high-speed chase before being captured in a late-night arrest. The two officers and the store loss prevention officer underwent surgery for their injuries late last night. That after the incident happened at a Home Depot store just north of the city. That Nashville Waffle House attack by a man formerly from Central Illinois is raising new questions about our state's gun laws. David Stewart reports on what's happening at the state capitol.
Under existing state law, the accused shooter's confiscated guns were given by police to his father, who returned them to Travis Reinking before the attack. Mayor Emanuel says the state needs better gun laws and not just improvements in mental health treatment.
Obviously, situations like this, that would help. On the other hand, there are other situations that don't get this type of coverage that strong, enforceable gun control legislation would cover.
Emanuel is pushing for an override of Governor Rauner's veto of a bill requiring gun dealers to have a state license. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Right now, that override vote is stalled in the Senate because Democrats cannot gather enough needed House votes. Chicago sports, Cubs top the Indians 10-3, while the Mariners blank the White Sox 1-0. The news service of Staples with low prices on a huge selection of ink, paper, and the latest printers. And now get the HP LaserJet Pro M23DW for just $129.99 this week only at Staples, your total printing solution. While supplies last, valid on SKU 2444436, ends 428. 8:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher loves the hypocrisy of the left.
This bastion of progressivism, Starbucks, where people who sit around for hours upon hours. You're going to tell me two black guys can't sit at a table without being bothered? And I love every bit of the consequences that pretentious, overpriced place is now having to pay.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
It's not easy being a mom, but my Chrysler Pacifica makes soccer practice a little more fun. I can binge all my shows with the available UConnect theater, open the Stow and Go seating to grab my hidden romance novel, or just jam out to the radio.
Hey, Mom, what was that song?
Huh? What song? I didn't hear a song.
Chrysler Pacifica. It's loaded with attitude. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Save more with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Hey, Todd, Liberty Mutual just saved me $782.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Maybe I should switch to Liberty Mutual.
Visit us online to... Hey, stop echoing.
Sorry.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company, Equal Housing Insurer.
It is 8:35. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
By Kennedy, inbound delay started Central. It is an hour and 2 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 43 minutes from Montrose, 40 in the Express. Outbound 25 minutes to Montrose, 45 to the airport. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 35. The Eisenhower, an hour and 9 minutes, 390 to downtown, 50 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 57 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 8 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 43 minutes, the Rye 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State delays are northbound, 115th, 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The Adams Tollway's fine. Reagan Tollway slow 22nd to the Tri-State. Northbound Veterans Memorial from I-55 to the Reagan Tollway. The Army Trail toll to 290. Southbound 53 a bit tight, Palatine to Kirchhoff. Northwest Indiana looks fine. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Breezy, cooler. We will have times of clouds and sun, high 54, clear and chilly. Low 36 overnight, 65 tomorrow. Currently sunshine and 45. Next news coming up at 9. With Dan and Amy in Mexico, Chicago's Morning Answer continues next with Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Empowered Investing, the show dedicated to investors. Saturdays at noon on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Bruce Wolf and Sean Thompson.
I like this song.
In for Dan and Amy. You want to do some karaoke to it?
No, I don't sing.
Our telephone number is 312-642-5600. You don't care about the NCAA, do you?
Not even a little
All
bit.
right, they'll just briefly dispense with it.
Go ahead.
Well, Condoleezza Rice headed this commission, an NCAA commission, to respond to federal prosecutors' charges of widespread bribery and corruption in college basketball. And the commission proposed several reforms that would alter the sport's texture without challenging the long-time requirement that the players be amateurs. Well, I stopped reading the New York Times article right there, because if they're not going to get rid of this whole sham about amateurism in college basketball, then this is a joke.
Just leave the system of Swiss cheese where we pretend they're not being paid 50 different ways
well, they
to
should
Tuesday.
Be. We shouldn't pretend anymore. They should be paid because these are their salad days.
He
and
inherited
the college
the Mercedes.
education. When Mike Krzyzewski, Gesundheit, gets a $10 million shoe contract, and the guys who play for him are on a one-way ticket to Palookaville, then I'm upset about that.
No, I like the system where we pretend there's actually rules and then we circumvent it. Hey, otherwise, what would we do with K Street? You know what the rents would be on K Street if we got rid of this? Nothing.
So, Donald Trump yesterday, a little saber rattling, he talked tough about Iran.
They restart it, they're going to have big problems, bigger than they've ever had before. If Iran threatens us in any way, they will pay a price like few countries have ever paid.
I don't think so, because you know why? I read this story in the Washington Free Beacon, and I think John Bolton leaked it to them.
John Bolton doing jobs I won't do. So let's send the kids to do jobs I won't do.
Never trust a national security advisor with a mustache.
Like Ron Jeremy.
So anyway, I'm not saying he said this, but according to the Washington Free Beacon, the Tillerson-McMaster negotiating team is carrying water for the Europeans, said one administration insider with knowledge of the nuclear talks. I'm thinking it's Bolton, because McMaster, who was fired, was viewed as going along with the European concessions on Iran's nuclear program. Europe wants the multi-billion-dollar deals with Iran. They want to let Iran have short-range nuclear missiles because they don't care about the Middle East, Israel, and all they care about is not getting nuked themselves. And I'm worried that Trump is going to cave to this and not throw out the whole thing on May 12th.
Weren't these buffoons dispensed? Tillerson dispensed, correct?
Well,
but the guy with the lisp, McMasterson, dispensed, right? Mad Dog sounds like Daffy Duck. Why aren't they sitting on a tee box wondering if they should hit a 9-iron or a driver?
Trump brings on Pompeo and Bolton, and it looks like a tough exterior. But I'm wondering if Trump really is going to cave on this, Bolton won't last as long as Scaramucci did. Well, he has lasted longer already, but I fear this.
Someone's getting paid.
I fear this.
Someone's got a sack of Joey at the end of it.
Sean, I feel like I love hosting the show with you, but Could you just call in right now? Because you're fun when you call in.
You like what the call in?
That would be.
Really,
Have
when
we
you
ever had a co-host just call in to the show?
Do you know
That
when
would be
you
kind
think
of fun.
about it, it's all because you took the call in that I'm standing here.
Yes,
because
think
God knows
about this.
Dan Proft never wanted to take the call in.
Well, he was new to the business.
He hangs
He
up on
wasn't
me
as
still.
flexible as I am. I saw gold in you.
Oh,
I
look at
did.
that.
Now, if you make it big,
I'll
or
never
big
talk
league,
to you again. No, go
are you going to? Do I get any vigorish? Do I get
Sure.
a percentage of
Yeah,
this
I'm
thing?
going to buy
Yeah.
you a shirt,
Thank
knowing
you.
that you'll wear it every day like a billboard. The guy doesn't change his clothes. I never saw anything like it.
No. I'm on strike right now until we balance the budget.
Your wife's a saint.
Anyway, what do you want to talk about the last couple of minutes we hear? Open line, Sean Thompson. What
I'm
do you
gonna
want to
tell
go on a
something.
rant?
I want to know how co-hosts get to go on one of these all-expense paid trips like lobbyists. I mean, at what point, how good do we have to do? I mean, I know, granted, we've been pruning the audience, but I'm assuming that at some point they're going to throw us. You think we'll go to the Dells?
They should send us you want to do a remote broadcast tomorrow?
Yeah,
Can
technically
we
you can
have
do
a-
one on Monday.
Let's
no one,
ask Keith if he could come in right now. Can Keith come in?
Oh, Keith's not capable.
No, he
He's
can't.
blow drying his hair.
Why can't he come in? He's our producer.
1976.
Come
He
on
was
in,
a-
Keith.
yeah.
Can you come
The
in and give us
Partridge Family.
we want to find out if we could do a remote broadcast tomorrow. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we're a little bit envious of envying Dan and Amy because they get to be in Mexico. Can we do like a Taco Bell remote broadcast tomorrow? Is that possible to set up here?
No.
And there
That's
is the radio
succinct.
skills needed
Thank
to
you.
be a producer.
I like brevity is the soul of wit. Let's go to Ralph and Rantoul. Good morning, Ralph. Thank you, Keith.
Morning.
Yeah.
Morning, Bruce. Morning, John. Hey, I think that the appropriate entertainment for the get-together would definitely be a showing of the Team America movie, as
Yes.
only marionettes can really kind of
Right.
recreate the whole North Korean thing.
Sure.
But also,
And I'm
like
trying.
something
And
you said,
I'm
Bruce-
Sean's marionette right here. I'm sitting on his lap right now. Go, yes, Ralph.
No. You're a grown-up boy. You have no strings. I also wonder, like you, Bruce, that if the Trumpster does the flippo on being tough, I think Bolton will resign faster than his mustache wax dries. He'll be out of there. I don't think he'll be fired. I think he'll just throw in the mustache and say, I'm out of here.
To a certain extent, Ralph, aren't you bothered by the fact that he can do exactly the opposite of what he ran against, and he loses no base? The people just adjust their principles rather than hold him to them.
It's tribalism.
Doesn't that bother you?
It's tribalism.
It drives me nuts.
This is the subject of Jonah Goldberg's new book, Suicide of the West. Yes.
I think he's actually done more that he said he was going to do than Obama promised. Is look over here, and the flaming paper in the other hand, and the rabbit comes out of the hat. Obama lied to the American people for 8 years. His proxies lied for 8 years. We've got Jonathan Gruber walking around still.
Jonathan Gruber, ding, 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 ding. Oh, the MIT professor.
He should be
Yeah.
locked up. Eric Holder should be locked up. Hillary should be locked up. They should all be in just invite them all to a DNC party and brick the exterior.
Thank you, Ralph. Appreciate it.
Bruce, you know what? We still have Obamacare. They still are never going to do anything because it is the yoke of tyranny it was meant to be.
Because
And
people
the
want pre-existing conditions taken care of.
The Republicans,
Everybody wants a free lunch.
The Republicans will do nothing except spend more and borrow more. That's all they do. Fire them first.
Look,
Send a
Sean,
shiver.
You're a youngster, but I remember Reagan coming in. We thought there was going to be a Reagan revolution. All he was able to do was retard for just a moment our slouching toward Gomorrah. That's all.
Yeah, well, I'm just waiting for the Trump yuppie. Let's see that extinct creature.
I'm so glad we had this time together. Coming up, we're going to hear from Dan and Amy, who are in Mexico.
Yeah. Problem with them is the wrong one has their shirt off.
Hola!
Tomorrow, I am going to wear another bikini
Yeah.
top from the
Change it
Amy
up.
Jacobson Craig Stevick collection. And you please light up that cigar. I'm
right.
anticipating. I love secondhand smoke.
Third.
It's my favorite. Let's take a break right now. We're on AM 560, The Answer.
Why do I have to put on a swimsuit? Nobody else has a swimsuit on.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
It's hard to follow the best soundbite ever. Today, breezy and cooler with times of clouds and sun. High 54. Tonight, clear and chilly down to 36. Tomorrow's the winter. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to say right now on the air, I'm not going to open the store tomorrow. Tomorrow, 65. Low temperature is 41. Now, Telemonte, where can I possibly get home the fastest? What are the routes?
Oh, man, Sean. Good luck. Well, the southbound tri-state is good if you're heading that way, but the northbound side still has really heavy delays from Southwest Highway to 31st Street and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The Adams Tollway's fine. Reagan Tollway almost. Still a little heavy York to the tri-state. Northbound Veterans Memorial jammed. I-55 to the Reagan Tollway after the Army Trail toll to 290. Southbound there's a delay. North Avenue to Roosevelt. Eden's just 20 minutes like Cook to Montrose outbound 29. But Kennedy, an hour and 2 minutes, so O'Hare to downtown. The delay started Central. 43 minutes from Montrose, 40 in the Express. Outbound 45 minutes to O'Hare. Eisenhower, an hour and 9 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 57 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 8 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 43 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 26 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 52. It's jammed, 130th to the Ryan. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Townstone Financial is synonymous with great rates, low closing costs, and phenomenal service to the thousands who have completed purchases and refinances with us since 2002. Hi, my name is Barry Sterner, owner of Townstone Financial. Let's hear from Jim, who just completed a no-cost refinance with Townstone Financial.
We went through the experience with Townstone. The experience was amazing. We had a point person that took control of the refi. The communication was specific and exactly what we needed to do. That I was never in the dark in the process. So I knew when I needed to get documents. I knew exactly what I needed. I would recommend Townstone to anybody, and I do.
Remember, nobody values your business more than Townstone Financial, and I'm always available to answer your questions. Call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2111. That's 312-896-2111. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois, mortgage license C 6629 and NMLS 136639. Equal housing lender.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Day 3 of our Passport to Paradise trip. We're at Secrets Maroma Beach Resort in Riviera Maya, Mexico, presented by Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, Joe Cotton Ford, and, of course, OPM Tax Resolution, the law offices of Stephen Leahy. And, Amy, how are you enjoying the trip so far? I see you're mostly focused on the wildlife here.
Well, there is a thing that I call a cat monkey. And it has a proper terminology, but since I'm the name assassinator,
it looks like a raccoon.
No, it's called a catty mandy, Coyote Monday. That's what.
Which one?
Coyote Monday. And
They make a cream now for that too. That'll clear right up. Like Coyote Monday.
They're adorable. And if you follow me on Twitter, and even Morning Answer, or you, Dan Proft, on Twitter, you can see this cat monkey who I feed every morning. We've become really close. We're making eye contact now, and
it's a real love affair. This is going to be like Shape of Water, isn't it? And you guys are going to swim out into the sea together.
We're going to the Amazon River.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be great. I'm going to cut some gills in her, and then we'll be great. No, but I always miss my animals, and I love exotic animals, and I just love all living creatures. So of course I'm going to befriend.
What a wonderful sentiment. Yes.
But yeah, I've never seen anything like this. We don't have these obviously in Illinois or in United States. The Coyote Monday.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm gonna introduce you to one
that's
too.
the trip highlight so far. Okay. All right. So what about the amenities here, Kim? We've done a number of these trips now. This is a really nice place.
8 different trips. I love Secrets. They always have well-appointed rooms. The friendliest staff you can ever imagine.
Do you notice how when everybody sees you that not only do they say hola, but a welcome home. That's their tagline, right?
Yes.
It's like everything is welcome home.
Yeah, they want you to be relaxed. They want you to feel that, you don't have to worry about anything. We're here to take care of you. And they don't say all-inclusive. They say unlimited luxury because that's what it is.
Good marketing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, it really is a great place, and it's a good time. The beach is great. Water's warm.
It's
like
perfect.
some good golf courses here that are
how
unreasonably priced, like all the golf courses near resorts in Central America, basically. But it's fun to play.
Caribbean. Yeah.
Fun
How's
to play.
your golf game coming along? I know you're struggling there a little earlier in the week.
Yeah, it needs work. I'm not good. I stink. I'm terrible.
I did beat you in Bozo Buckets.
And I beat you in basketball.
I am going to be beating you in ping pong.
You are not going to be beating me in ping pong.
I want you to know that this is game on.
They
I've
have
got
a ping pong table in the water. Do you want to play in the water, or do you want to play on land?
No, I want to play on land. I don't need my sea. I don't need sea legs. I want to play on the land.
Okay. All
okay.
Right. Yeah.
What do you want to bet?
Yeah.
All right. What?
$100,000.
You always go so high.
Well,
maybe just
I like
10?
to make it interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've been practicing.
Bet among friends. $100,000. The standard bet.
Yeah, we now have a ping pong table at the house. So I think
have you been practicing?
Yeah, I got a coach too.
Have you?
Yeah.
I want to rent Wave Runners if you're interested to know what I'd like to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I said enough about me.
Yeah.
What do you think of me?
I rent Wave Runners because that's fun. Do a fishing, do a little golfing, and then just sit around and drink.
We are
going to
go
get fat
to
and happy.
the Mayan ruins and go snorkeling in a cenote, which will be fun.
What's a cenote, Amy?
It is a cave with water in it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
A little fact of the day for those of you considering a trip to Mexico.
All right. Well, thanks so much for sticking with us, and check out all our videos
at 560theanswer.com/passport. Also, all the social media, Facebook, Twitter. Yeah, that's all of them. What about Tumblr? Why aren't we on Tumblr?
What about our time?
Yeah, what about the dating sites? Do we have banner advertising on any of the dating sites?
Grindr, Tinder, Bumbler.
You went to Grindr first. That's strange.
What's Grindr?
The gay one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Learn something new every day.
Yeah. All right.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
When I hear realtors boast about servicing a 3-county area or selling a home every 15 minutes, I think, what level of service could their clients possibly be getting? This is Chris Jacobs with Century 21 affiliated in Inverness, and my message is a little bit different. If being a realtor for more than 20 years has taught me one thing, it's that all real estate is local. While I can't say I'm the #1 realtor in the country, I can tell you that over the past 10 years, I've sold more homes in Inverness than anyone else. My team specializes in Inverness, Palatine, and Arlington Heights. We pride ourselves on providing our clients exceptional customer service and local market knowledge. So if you're selling your home or looking to purchase a property in our area, then call me, Chris Jacobs, at 847-401-4859. That's 847-401-4859. Or visit us at Chris Jacobs Homes.